before.
I thought I had time for one more bite of a sandwich.
I know. Let's play the intro again. It's okay. I'll do most of the talking tonight. I'm generally good at that. Hello, everybody. What's up? Hi. Welcome to the Earthbound closeout, which I didn't know this was the closeout until earlier today. I was like, oh, I had a narwhal scheduled for my Wednesday promo shows, and then like yesterday I was like, wait, the Fun My Comic is closing? I wonder when the Indiegogo closed. And then earlier today, he's like, it's kind of a closeout. So I'm like, I guess we're doing a closeout stream. So this is going to be a whole party. This is going to be a thing.
I sprung it on you. Yeah, and I appreciate you hosting a little bit too. And yeah.
No problem. No, this is fun. It's cool. Yeah, I'm glad. I hope that we can give you a little boost. And, so the plan is we're starting a little later than usual, but that means I can go late, and I'm gonna try to at least. Well, it's like 2 hours till midnight my time, so let's at least try to go like 3 or 4 hours. I think. Push it a little bit, get Earthbound up there, try to get some more funding on this. So it's closed on Fun My Comic, but it's live on Indiegogo. So I have the Indiegogo link in the description, and I will pin the link now because people have been posting the link. My mods have been posting a link in the chat. You guys are awesome, so I will pin that. You guys are amazing. Oh yeah, and some person. Red Valkyrie art auction is on May 11th. That's right. Yay! And I have like real stuff this time, as in like I have like covers and like big pieces.
Oh, like not just doing exclusive sketches right before, kind of.
Yeah. Usually what I do is like 3 days before I draw a bunch of booby girls. And, like, I put effort into it, obviously. I like doing it. It's almost like my seasonal unwind. I'm like, oh, I can draw something fun for Red Valkyrie and de-stress a little bit. But actually, I have that fiendish cover. Hold on, let me show you guys. Here, let's see. So what I'll have is, there's another thing. I can't actually show the one on the back, but I have this, not to distract from Earthbound, but
nice.
And I have a gross Tetsuo.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And those are going to go up for auction?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so, May 11th. Thank you for that. But yeah, not out of internet. Here we go. There, that's the link. Lovely. All right, let me pin that. But enough about me. There, it's pinned. Narwhal, how are you doing?
Good. I told you a little bit just that I'm doing a little bit of real world work, and it's art related, but it's kind of making things extra busy. So I'm sort of doing what you do. I can relate more to your level of being busy.
I mean, they're just it's insane. There is no time for anything. It's so frustrating. It's like, I mean, when I just constantly bitch about, I'm so stressed, I don't have time for anything, like, it's not the drawing that stresses me out, it's all the other stuff. Like, the comic doesn't stress me out. It stresses me out because I can't work on the comic all the time, and I just can't. I work for other people, and I've just gone off this streak of, commissions for other people, and then sending a bunch of stuff to print, and I've been in like logistics hell, like checking print files, coordinating, checking products, proofs for like 2 weeks now, and then I did that Phenomenova cover, which was fun to do, but also that's more work. And now I have another cover. I have like 3 more covers piled up. Anyways, it's fine. I'm not complaining about it. You know what I mean? Whew. It's rough. It's not simple making a living doing art. It's kind of like you have to take whatever comes your way, and then before you know it, you're overloaded. But when it's dry, it's dry. So
because I'll have moments and I'll recognize them. I'm being like, oh, I'm in a kind of moment where I don't have a ton of things to do. The thing that'll stress me out too is if it's multiple hats, so you kind of have to change gears multiple times in the middle of the day. I'm like, I just want to draw all day, but if I have to like also check a print file, also do some email stuff, whatever.
That definitely is it. It's almost like every day. I don't know if you work this way. I kind of plan my days out like, okay, this is a business brain day or an art brain day. Because if I'm gonna draw, like I can probably like, oh, drop by the post office in the morning, but then I need to just draw. Like
Yeah.
I can't draw for like 2 hours. Not that I can't, like I can only draw whatever. It's not about that. It's just that it's if I'm going to only draw for 2 hours, especially on pieces, then I might as well do something else. Like I want to get into it, enjoy it, and spend all day on it and draw for 18 hours straight. If that makes sense.
Hey, by the way, Mike Coon is warbling you again. But I think just saying that might make it snap out. Try saying
Yeah,
something.
Mike Coon.
Oh, now it's clear.
What are you?
Now it's clear.
Mike
Yeah,
Coon,
what's he doing?
Why aren't you stressing you out, Mike Coon? Oh, Mike Coon. I've got my wine and my Cthulhu goblet ready. By the way, let me actually pull up your campaign. We're just like warbling and well, Mike Coon is warbling. I'm whinging. It's different. Yeah, while I'm whinging, let's take a look at Earthbound. But despite being busy, you have done quite well on this. So congratulations on part 2 of 6 for Earthbound Grand Prix.
Yeah. Next is part 3, and part 3 will make the trade, and it will be the third Earthbound trade. So that will be kind of another big campaign like early next year or something. But part 2 is a lot. It's like part 1's mostly kind of a lot of setup, and the setup's fun. But part 2 things are getting rolling, and there's a lot of fun stuff. So I highly recommend everyone check it out, especially if you're into Earthbound, of course.
Cool. So Earthbound, how long is Earthbound as a whole series overall? I don't think I've ever asked that.
Yeah, 'cause it was my first book, and that it was based on a movie script I wrote, and that one is like 250 pages. It's in 2 trades, and that's just like one graphic novel, one complete story. It just ends. But it does reference the Grand Prix, and that the Grand Prix is coming up. So I was like, if I ever do a sequel, it'll be about the Grand Prix. But it wasn't even like a big world building thing. It's literally just the Grand Prix is mentioned in name. So if there's any world building, it would be in this one that would come up. And then it was like 2 or 3 years ago, I had the inspiration for the story. I was like, that's what it should be, because I was hanging on to it for a little bit because I was wondering. I was like, if I do it it's going to be about kind of like a fighting tournament, and I didn't want it to just be about like following a tournament and then seeing who wins, and then the winner fights the winner, and then because some manga are like that and they can be good, but I wanted to do something a little different. So I structured it like Enter the Dragon, which is like a guy enters a fighting tournament undercover to try and solve like a CIA style mystery kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of like what got everything going. And then wrote this. It just wrote it as a movie screenplay too. And this one, when it's done, it'll be the same thing. Like this will be a little bit longer. So this one will be 300 pages. So I'll be 2 there, and they're like, so they're pretty much unapologetically like movies, just straight up. And then as far as movies go, they're mostly like Indiana Jones. Like they're sort of connected, but it's not like they're super important trilogy telling the story. Kind of, it's like 3, because there's going to be a third one eventually too. So there'll be 3 adventures, kind of around the world with similar characters and stuff.
Sweet, you got it all planned out. And
yeah,
you have like the 2 covers with the characters in the titles. That's cool. It's cool. I like that look.
Yeah, I got like the series gimmick thing going for the Grand Prix covers.
Yeah, very and I love the aesthetic you have for. I mean, you kind of have Earthbound has its look, but for Grand Prix, you use that ring, like that golden sheen everywhere. I just love that. It adds a different vibe to it.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it is like kind of because that it's fun. Some of it, like creatively, I guess, is like the Grand Prix. You're like, so it's a special tournament, and you're like, well, how special? You're like, oh, so special, you don't even know. It's so special. And I'm like, well, how do I make it special? So I was trying to think of ways, and I was like, what is it? So then part of the story is like, it's a one-way portal to get there. So it's sort of like if you go to see it, you can go see the Grand Prix, but you're going to never come back. So a lot of people don't go, they're scared, and nobody really knows what it's like. And so then I'm like, well, it's got to be cool once you get across. What's it even like? And I was like, it's pretty much like a giant Norse longhouse with a bunch of gold with a super high vaulted ceiling in the middle of a pyramid. So I like mixed all the like ancient civilization.
Oh, yes, perfect. And in space. Pyramids in space. Oh, you figured it out. That's the next evolution of sci-fi. You know how people say it's like, when's the next evolution of sci-fi? Because all these science fiction kind of just stopped. I think it's because we just have no idea what the fuck's gonna happen, or either that we're kind of in a media dark age right now, and it's like, what is the next sci-fi concept? Maybe it is just ancient stuff in space.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. Pyramids in space is not a bad pitch at all. I should put that on the back cover and say, a quote from Rini, pyramids in space.
Yeah, pyramids in space. That's what Earthbound is.
Alex VRB.
That's a terrible quote.
Yeah, he always has good quotes for marketing. Alex, you can steal that one if you want. His right now, I forget, it's like the legendary tournament, gaze into the abyss. Something like that.
Oh, yeah. No, Alex is really good at marketing taglines. He has to like actually do something in marketing, or I don't know. I'm gonna run all my marketing ideas by Alex or something.
It's hard to beat pyramids in space, though, Alex. I don't know if you can do that. Thanks, CJ. I met CJ in person at a local con here. It's the Sasquatch Con. And
I think you mentioned that. Yeah, cool. CJ for $5. Let me read that. The first one was fantastic. Can't wait for part 2 and the rest of the series. Thank you very much for the super chat. Yay. And for your support, of course, Alex VRB. Speaking of Alex, for 5, thank you so much. Speaking of Cthulhu, my Pathfinder campaign wrapped, so I'm playing Call of Cthulhu. Oh, interesting. Almost fell into the abandoned church's basement just now. Back Earthbound. I will never cease to be amazed and impressed and also confused by Alex's ability to watch streams and play Pathfinder at the same time. Like, I don't understand. I can draw and play Pathfinder. Like, as long as we're not fighting something, like, I can just be like, oh, theater of the mind, I'm drawing, and it annoys my GM, but I can separate, like, listening. But, like Alex is in chat while I don't understand. Anyways, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I have not played Call of Cthulhu. Best of luck. Our Pathfinder campaign has not wrapped yet, but we have, like, almost no characters left over from when our current module started. Like, everybody has died. So it's all new characters. It's terrible. Everybody's dead. Oh my god. Okay, so quick aside. We were looking at EXP points, right? So in this, we did this thing where if a character dies, then the player will make a new character, but the new character starts out at half the XP of whoever has the highest XP in the game. So whatever character has the highest XP. So the character that has the highest XP is like way ahead of everyone at this point, because he's the only one, this cat guy, that's been there since, like, who's also played by my trading card artist, by the way. So shout out to AC. Good job for staying alive the whole time, damn you. Like, he's the only one that's from the original group, and he has so much more XP. And I was commenting the other day, like, wow, good job. Like, and then everybody was like, wait a minute, that just means, like, all his friends are dead. That is not a good thing.
Yeah. It's a fate worse than death in many ways.
It's horrible, and it's like everybody else is so far behind, I can never catch up. Anyways, nobody knows what I'm talking about. It's a lot of fun. Hey, Jolly, here. Hello.
A random anecdote about EXP is in Final Fantasy Tactics, which is a PlayStation video game. Do you ever play that one or hear about it?
Nah, no.
That one is like, it's like chess or whatever. It's like you move the pieces like strategy style. And Vaughn would like this because Cloud Strife is a top secret character in it, but you can't unlock him till the very end of the game. So all your characters are at level 99 and you get him at level 1. And so he's completely useless. But,
That's great.
Yeah. But then as like a high school freshman or whatever I was, middle school, of course I spend like 50 hours leveling him up so that I can actually have him in the party. It's like the
Oh
biggest
my
waste of
god.
time ever. I'm so annoyed at myself that I fell for it. But
I
yeah.
mean, we all did shit like back when we had time, right? In like middle school and high school, like I would just waste hours doing stupid shit.
Yeah.
Ugh,
Yeah,
man.
my friend did something like that with Mega Man Legends. You had to like upgrade the Mega Man rollerblades all the way so you could beat this one roller obstacle course thing that gives you something I forget. But again, he spent like 100 hours. I'm like, just to upgrade the rollerblades all the way, and he's like, yes. I'm like, oh my god, dude.
Oh man. I mean, hey, the point is entertainment as long as you're having fun. But
Yeah.
oh, I'm at the point where I'm like, I seldom like everybody knows I don't really play games. I play like one game a year or some shit. Um, I was watching like Stellar Blade is like all the rage now, obviously because like people are. I don't know if it's real outrage, fake outrage. It probably is real outrage. I don't care, but the game genuinely looks good. Like the designs look really cool. Like it's awesome. So I
Yeah.
might try it. Like if it looks like
Nice.
fun.
I'm definitely going to watch that one. I'll watch a full playthrough while I'm drawing or whatever, but I don't know if I'll play it. But
Yeah, I just watched. There are already playthroughs on YouTube. I'm like that. I guess people had like early releases or something. So I started watching the opening, and I'm like, oh my god, it's so pretty. Oh, I love
yeah.
it.
Yeah, the opening was cool. Yeah, and it's funny because it stands out. It's not many games or even just putting a hot girl is like an act of revolution.
Yeah, I mean, it's there's something to it though, because the fact is there are games with hot girls. It's not like Stellar Blade is doing something special. But I think it's also they put thought into the designs. Like the designs are genuinely really well done. It's not just like they're because Japanese games and other just anything that's not made in fucking America. There are hot women, strong men, all that stuff. But like the designs look really good, the graphics look good, so might as well try
Yeah.
it out. Why not? Yeah.
People are pointing out too that it'll probably go the path of like Bayonetta, where at first the leftists are really offended, but then they somehow embrace it as a feminist icon eventually. So when they realize they can't turn the tides.
You think that's what they'll do?
Yeah, yeah. Stellar Blade, feminist icon.
I mean, it's so dumb. I thought that's what we wanted, but I don't know. Everything's upside down world right now. I can't follow it all. It's also
Yeah,
crazy. Yeah,
yeah,
you would think that. I mean, it's this is what you want. Like Bayonetta and Eve are like people have been comparing her to Bayonetta. Like sexy, badass women that are fighting evil, and I thought this was cool. Like I see just her design, and I'm like, this is inspirational. First of all, it makes you want to get in shape, and also it's great inspiration for art. So like
yeah,
that's like 50% of the reason I play any games at all. But yeah, I thought this is what we wanted, but I don't know. It's 2024. Everything's fucking crazy, and the world will probably implode later this year. But let's not talk about that.
yeah. If we get through to 2025, we'll all be very lucky people.
Yeah, yeah. Fingers crossed. No idea where this is going at all, but let's not delve too deep into that. Felix Haas says, "I already backed, but is this going in demand?"
It is not. It's going to close, and I'm going to kind of start the process of fulfillment, which is kind of just sending it to an editor, ordering some prints. So it'll be like a month. It'll be fulfilling later in May. So yeah, get it now. I know you already did, Felix, and thank you. But yeah, tonight's the night. By the way, Rini, we have gotten a couple backers. All right, I don't know if I can spoil it, but it's okay to update it. Basically, is what I'm saying. It won't kill an
Okay.
angel. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So since Narwhal is on the show, I've been kind of playing the bit as well. If you refresh, so here's the rule that I don't always follow, but Narwhal does. If you refresh a campaign on stream and the number doesn't go up, an angel dies. So we don't want to kill no angels, no cute cherubs today. So we have to make sure this campaign goes up every time I refresh it, okay? And also you need to keep me drinking because this is my drinking fund. Not really, but I'm just, just imagine it is. Cheers.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we crack $3,000, then Rini's gonna get drunk.
Yay! I'm already on my way, but let's pretend. Wait, we're like really close to this. Okay, hold on, let's refresh. I knew. I saw what you were doing there. Hey, cheers! Woo! Crack $3,000. Awesome. I guess I'll have to get shit-faced now. Oh no.
Got any of those Jello shots lying around?
No, I don't. I am ill prepared. I only have. Hold on. Look at this giant bottle of wine. This thing is ginormous. Nice. So I still have like most of this left. Let me pour a little more. So don't worry, I am prepared. I just don't have any Jello shots, which I do sorely miss. Those were good. Should have gotten some more.
How many did you get that night you got them?
I got 4.
Okay. Yeah, Jello shots, they seem fun. I haven't done them in a while, but I would partake of them. Like, I would be the guy who just did 6 Jello shots a day. I wouldn't even drink. I'd only do Jello shots for the rest of my life. That would be what I'd do.
Oh, I agree. They're so good. I hadn't had any Jello shots in a long time, and for some reason I don't like gummies, but I like Jello shots. And I just like those are store-bought ones, and I'm like, oh, this is really good, but it's dangerous because, like, first of all, you get drunk real quick because you don't like taste the alcohol, which is why it's so good, and also it's like fattening as fuck. So it's like, let's get double unhealthy, but they're so good. So that's for like if I want to treat myself, treat yourself, and all good.
Yeah, get like a bottle of wine and 1 Jello shot to top it off.
Yes, exactly. That's my celebratory reward. Camel is in chat. Hello.
Hey, what's up, Camel?
Hello.
Campbell, I'll fire you off the link real fast, Campbell, just in case you want to pop in too.
Yeah, come in. We invited the block, but everybody's being lazy. So, if this campaign doesn't fund as much as Narwhal needs, we can all blame everybody else on the block because they're not here to support their best friends. That's what I am saying right now. And I know Phil's probably watching, so get in here. Jake's asleep, I'm sure. Hey, what's up? Hello, Jose.
Jose, what's up?
Thank you for joining us.
Zed said Jello shots and Earth delicacy. I kind of want to put that in Earthbound because one of the dumb but kind of fun jokes that Earthbound can do is like it's kind of like aliens giving commentary on humanity because they don't know. They're like, what do you call it if you study a culture? They're anthropologists. They're like they will sort of give anthropological, like really ill-informed bad takes because they don't know anything about Earth. So like one of them is like they find out about what's it called? Annuals in high school. Do you remember when they hand out those books and you have everyone sign them?
Yearbooks?
Yearbooks. Yeah, that's what it's called. So they're like, what's a yearbook? And he's like, it's something that shy people use to have an excuse to talk to each other.
Wait, no, that's dumb. That didn't even happen for us. So it's just like, oh, you just get your friends to sign it and that's it.
Yeah.
You don't go talk to the people in the other cliques. Well, hello, Camel. What's
Hello,
up?
how are you?
Well, Camel, how's it going?
Thank you for joining us. Fancy having you on for this lovely closeout stream.
Yeah,
Appreciate
you guys are persona non grata, so I guess by default,
well,
so am I.
I guess. I don't even know. I'm just trying to draw comics here, and somehow all this crazy shit's happening. But at least I'm here with friends, so let's be persona non grata together.
Persona mucha leche, much milk.
I have you guys in chat, and I have all of you, as friends. So that's what matters to me.
I don't discriminate. My friends are my friends. I don't give a shit. So.
Yeah, you discriminate. Don't lie. We know.
Just against you. I don't like
Oh
girls.
yeah, I know that. Yeah, I figured that out. It's fine. I'll tolerate it. Just for this stream, for Narwhal's sake. Caleb Reynolds for 2. Thank you. Go back the book. Thank you. Yes, and everybody go back this book. I'm gonna play the trailer. Hopefully, I shared sound and was not an idiot because I'm gonna go get some water so I don't get completely drunk tonight. But let's see.
Nice. I'm gonna take a giant bite of my sandwich while this plays.
Okay. Go finish your
You
sandwich.
want an apprentice and you chose Mags? Why don't you choose Narwhal? Narwhal is an actual genius. I mean, like, creative genius. He's not going to solve cold fusion. Why didn't you take Narwhal under your wing? You did it because you were trying to be political. You were trying to be cute. You thought you were smarter than the situation. You're smarter than these idiots, but I mean, come on. The idea that your first book you're ever going to put out is going to be award worthy is kind of ridiculous. Usually people win awards for actual merit, not identity, after 5, 10, 20 decades of work. But of the work that's been produced, I would really only say it was like Narwhal stuff. Like, Narwhal definitely seems like the type of person who should be nominated in a short story or anthology category. I mean, a lot of his stuff is just flat out brilliant, like savant level work. So Narwhal is someone that I think actually does deserve award nominations. But as far as I know, Narwhal has only worked in crowdfunding, which is apart from mainstream, both for awards, for press coverage, for basically everything. Now, should crowdfunding come up with its own awards? No. Just put out books, deliver the books, make good books, improve in your artistry, in your skill, in your delivery, and in your customer service. Don't worry about mainstream awards.
If my opinion matters, we need to make sure Narwhal's taken good care of. He's got a lot of good books. He's going to continue to make good books, and in my opinion, he's a fucking genius.
Now, Reenie's not back, so we're just gonna stare at a full black screen for a little bit, and we can look at what Reenie's been watching. What have you been watching on YouTube, Reenie?
Joe Rogan is back on YouTube, so I've been watching that and a bunch of weeb shit. Yeah, there you go. Weeb shit.
Someone said a funny tweet that made me laugh, and they're like, the meteoric rise of the technology of Rogaine has something to do with bald Joe Rogan's success because of like associations, like subconscious associations.
Rogaine? What are you talking
Yeah. Do you guys remember Rogaine? It was like a product that you could buy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that a hair growth thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. But I guess I remember.
Oh, that's funny. It probably came on your TV and you just didn't even notice it, even though it's right in front of your face, because you don't ever need your woman with long hair, so it just doesn't even register.
Yeah, also I don't watch TV, but yeah, that kind of stuff I'd probably just scroll by
They
it.
still make Rogaine? Is that still a thing?
Now that you mention it, I haven't seen Rogaine in a while. It's been a while.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of other stuff. I almost exclusively watch YouTube. Like, I don't watch TV, guys. Fuck that shit. And, like, some YouTubers promote hair growth product. I mean, YouTubers promote everything. It's kind of interesting. But I've seen hair growth products on YouTube and, like, YouTubers I like. I'm like, this is interesting. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny the things that go do the YouTube route for getting promoted. Like, Better Health is one, and there's just a million little things. But some of them are weird. By the way, Tom Tuttle's here. Thanks, Tom, for being here. What's up, man?
Hello, Tom Tuttle brings the funny for $2. Thank you very much. That's still my assessment. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, because he's quoted in the video, and the Earthbound is his favorite. Nice, thanks, Tom.
Whose voice was that after Zach?
Then it's Joe Frago, he's kind of a real life buddy. I've met him once, but we hung out when I was in the Midwest. And he's a good guy, but he's been beefing with various people, which is fine. But I've noticed my birthday is next month, and I might even try and like do one little birthday piece arrangement or something. Have some people are beefing like you know that you know in World War II when the Nazis and the British like have Christmas together.
It'll be wait, do another challenge on Dark Gifts channel. It'll be the Great Healing, except it won't be.
Yeah, it will backfire spectacularly.
yeah, we'll totally do that. Let's just have like a group draw off. It'll be pure chaos, and it'll totally solve all our problems.
Mm-hmm.
Mixing boring trap. What? I'm very very confused. Yeah, that's a good idea for a trailer, by the way. I should I don't screenshot people complimenting me enough. I'm gonna go back in my Twitter history and just screenshot all of it and like make a video.
Yeah. See, it takes a little bit of like you gotta put aside your ego or whatever, or embrace it a lot or something. You gotta get over that, and then you're like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it, and then
Yeah, let's do it. That's right.
It's just marketing.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Shall we? I mean, I should probably hold off on the wine until we get more backers. Let's do that, shall we? Let's try to not get drunk right off the bat, like right the fuck away. FK322, thank you very much. Gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much. I am still seeking memberships. I have no idea how many more I need. YouTube needs a ridiculous amount. I'm trying to get more emojis, but hopefully I'm there. I will check. Thank you very much for gifting the memberships. It was a Christmas truce.
Oh yeah, they say World War I, not World War II.
Yeah,
The
I don't.
Battle of the Bulge.
Battle of the Bulge?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
When they had Christmas together?
Yeah.
World War II, wasn't it?
44.
Because it was. I remember it. They said it was the Nazis, and that was World War II, not one.
Oh yeah.
Irene's still streaming.
I mean,
yeah,
maybe
I
something
stream every
similar
week.
happened in World War One, but what
Maybe.
Marvel was referring to was definitely World War II.
Yeah.
World War III won't. Hey, listen. Let's not get into it. You not see what is facing us right now. I stream every week, friend. I do promo streams most Wednesdays. I do creative vlog. I do Sunday streams like half the time, like when I'm not dead tired and feel like it. I do Sunday streams. But I have like more actual channel content. I've been making videos. I made a bunch of world building videos and just character profiles and stuff. So those will be going up on my channel. By the way, if you're watching it and you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I could use some more subscribers. I'm trying to like actually put in an effort and grow the channel, which I haven't really done. I've just been like, let me stream and talk about comics. So let me actually put in some fucking effort. All right. So I've got like world building stuff, and I do promo streams for comics, for other people's comics, most Wednesdays. So subscribe. Like the Hellion ARTSHOW thing, that's a comic promo thing. That's why I stream every Wednesday. It goes way back. This is episode 90, bro. I've been doing 90 fucking episodes.
Yeah, and it's awesome. Rini does that too. Supports the community. She's helping me, doing me a real solid, closing out my campaign. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Of course.
Yeah,
I want to see good comics succeed.
Of everywhere that I pitched Boots and Heels, I think I got the most sales on Rini's channel.
Oh, nice. Rini, you need a word for what it's called. Like, if people come on my channel to get a boost, I call it the Narwhal Nuge. You need something. I don't know.
I think people have said it's the Rini Rise. I don't know if.
Oh, yeah.
The
Rini Rice.
I think my name is like hard to rhyme with. Like I don't have like a what are like, fans
there's a
of?
Bancroft
You have.
bump.
Yeah, the Bancroft bump.
I have
Bancroft bump, Rini Rise.
No, Doug. No, not that. No, I know I know it's very tempting, but no. Rise.
Rini Reich? How about that?
Oh God, no! Both of these are horrible.
No, all right. I'll let me brainstorm some more.
Yeah.
Rini? Isn't your dad German or something? So.
Yeah, he's both He's German, Polish, and Jewish. It's like all the things.
Yeah.
All
He
at once.
impresses himself.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just he's just Ashkenazi Jewish, so it's just everything, right? It's kind of like confusing. Polish, yeah, the name's Polish, but I don't know, a bunch of other shit. Let's see, less perverted. It's always gonna be. There's no saving that. It's just always gonna be perverted. Yeah. Let's see. So, refresh this real quick. It did go up! Yay! No angels died.
You risked it without even getting a hot tip from me because I got the inside scoop because it sends me email updates if backers come in.
Oh yeah, I went in blind. I was just like, let's just risk it.
You risked the angels and it paid off.
It paid off. That's right. I wanted to keep the excitement going.
A cool $140 it went up there. 76 backers. Yeah.
That was great. So what's your ideal goal for tonight? Do you have any stretch goals coming up?
No, but we could try and set one. So the Fund My Comic was like $8,000 exactly, basically. So this is approaching 12 grand if you combine the two of them. Nice. So 12 grand, that, which is, a bit steep. Who knows if that's even realistic, but that would be worthy of some kind of stretch goal. But I'm already giving the cool banana mini comic, the banana lore, to everyone, that was sort of like was going to be a stretch goal, and I'm just like, everyone gets it. You get a banana mini lore comic. You get a mini banana lore comic. Everyone, take the comic.
That's cool. So wait, you're gonna do like a tiny foldy mini comic about the banana Campbell? God damn it! Sorry, he's misbehaving in the chat.
I thought that was a good one.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Narwhal, yes. Banana comic.
Yeah. Which I think I might have shown it to you guys on Creative Block, but so you might know. But it's where the two guys just open a giant box, and inside is a giant spider instead of the banana's there, but a spider got stuck in the shipment, so then they got to deal with that.
Oh, I remember
Yeah,
this story. Isn't it a huge banana? Is it like a huge?
Yeah.
Did I give it away? I'm sorry.
No. It's like there's a giant banana in this comic, and I was like, this banana deserves its own lore. So I wrote a little backstory for it. Because I'm like, where did this giant banana come from?
Well, all right. I'm sure that will. I mean, those mini comics are such a cool idea, but maybe.
Yeah, I've done 2 now. Yeah, they're fun, and yeah, I want to make giant bananas my thing. Except not really, because the problem is if you get into it, you get in too deep, and then you're just knee deep in giant bananas, and you're like, why did I go down this path? Too many giant bananas. Yeah.
Never say never. You never know. Maybe the fans will demand.
Yeah.
Okay, so the giant banana in your comic, are you just happy to see me? Well, maybe it's both. I don't know, depending on who you're talking to. Is the spider bigger than the banana? It was a pretty giant spider. It's kind of cute. It's adorable. I think spiders are cute.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like proportional to what a tarantula next to a banana would be.
Oh boy. All fuzzy and adorable. Let's see. Let me go down to your stretch goals. Oh, you don't have the stretch goals here?
No. Yeah, well, because I mean there kind of isn't any really, unless we think of one. So 12K, I don't know. Well, I'm trying to think of what I could give people. If we hit 12K, maybe a nice postcard print and I'll figure out what it'll be, but that could be cool. You know what it could be? Well, so this will be kind of a big one-ish. It'll be fun. Let me see if I can find it. I'll show you guys. It'll be I have a one-page comic that's a Mad Max fan comic, and I'll give that to everyone, a print copy of that, as a little 9x6 postcard if we hit 12K, which, yeah, no worries if we don't. I have no expectations, but you never know. But yeah, I'll find that and I'll share it. Yeah.
So I like Simple Green says Ticket to the Grand Prix. I think that's a pretty cool idea, isn't it?
Yeah. That's a possibility. I like stretch goals like that. Those are like maybe that almost that word that Hype Wizard was talking about, where it's part of the real world or whatever. But I don't know, with Hotel Story, we were going to give out as a stretch goal. We're going to give the Wi-Fi passcode. And
well, I slept through the last creative block, so I don't know. But when you're talking about diegetic storytelling, is that the word?
yeah, I feel like it's maybe diegetic.
Yeah, right. That makes sense. No, I do. I really like items like that. So an in-world replica of, or like a real replica of something from the world of the comic. I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Dianetics, I actually don't know that work. I know diegetic is from like within the story world, right? Like
Yeah.
diegetically consistent mean it's not realistic as in the world operates on different rules than our world, but if it's diegetically consistent, that means within the world of your story, it's consistent and believable, right? Those are different things. And for example, I learned of it because you know how I'm like doing language stuff with my book, and when people speak English in my book, they're not actually speaking English, so that's a non-diegetic language because they're not actually speaking the text on the page anyways. You know what I mean?
What about diarrheic? Is that also something?
That's like
Diarrhea?
ancient Greek. That's a book from Greece that one of the
I have
dudes
so
wrote.
many jokes, and I'm not gonna make them. I'm nice, and I'm not drunk enough yet. But
I
maybe
think
catch me in an hour.
Dianetics might be a book in the Bible. I don't even know. Dianetics, maybe Diane. I don't know. Yeah. There's the kid in Mad Max gun. He goes, "You gonna blast him?" And he's like looking at them at these cars. He's like, "I'm just watching. Why? I'm out of bullets." Really? Crumble. Get lost, boy. The end.
Oh, it's just like a one-page thing. Oh my gosh, I love
Is this
the
a
colors.
new style for you, Noah?
This is drawn traditionally, so it's like a little more detailed, takes a little bit longer to do, but it's kind of more or less the same style, but yeah.
When you have your Earthbound style, I think is most well known. But I noticed because I've been seeing your work for your Percival story, and the art is different. Like it's still your art, but I think when you draw traditionally, it's like this more detailed style. That's
Yeah, it
really,
kind of
really
changes
cool.
from and then this even because Percival was drawn on paper, but it's with just a pen, and then this is drawn with like a nib. So I've been trying to get back into using nibs because they're kind of fun, but they're a little bit intimidating. But once I jumped in, it wasn't so bad, really.
All right. I
So
love these colors.
one-page Mad Max fan comic, people. This is a good one, I think. Be a fun bonus.
That's a cool idea. Oh, so many ideas. So like the mini comic idea was interesting. I actually, speaking of short comics and stuff, I showed you guys on the blog, but I dug up like these old ass comics I did for fucking ever ago. Because I used to do a lot of short comics when I had time and I was mostly in college and before I, had to grind at day jobs, selling my soul. But just like a bunch of old shit that I can just publish and add as add-ons. But these like not just the mini comics, but one-page comics are a cool idea. Maybe I can do something like a postcard or a mini print, but it's a one-page comic but printed on cardstock, right? And it could like make it like a whole proper cardstock print. I don't know. That'd be interesting. Maybe.
Yeah, you could do like random funny stuff like an airplane like pamphlet, but it's for Casimir to how to ride a horse or something.
Yeah, just short little snippets. But I always remember in the back of manga volumes, they always have short comic strips. You guys know that? I mean, I don't know if how much of my audience reads manga. Do I have any next to me? I think I have a Japanese My Hero Academia somewhere. Oh, where the fuck are you? Hold on. Oh yeah, here we go. Let's see. This is pretty cool, by the way. Look. Yay, I got this when I was in Japan. So there's a look how little, tiny. Their
Oh,
tankobon are so tiny. Usually in the back, they have. Man, this stuff is dense. It's so crazy. Like, just look how much material. Oh, it's insane. And
how
the
many
print is
panels
small.
per page do they do?
Hero kind of, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Hero does more panels than a lot of other manga, honestly. I see anywhere from like 4 to like, hold on, like 7 in some of them. Like, look at this one. That's a lot of panels, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of interesting when manga, already smaller than American comics, will also do lots of panels. I'm kind of
Like,
curious if they do that.
look at this, 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4, 5, 6. So, but what I noticed, honestly, it's not even the paneling, it's the lettering size. So I was comparing my lettering, the size that I letter at, to other comics, and I'm like, I'm lettering as small as possible for it to be legible for American comics. And like, look how little text there is here. It's like just one line and one line.
Yeah.
The action is very spread out. But anyways, the thing that I was looking for, I don't think it actually fucking exists, so never mind. But anyways, in a lot of tankobon volumes, in the bag, you'll have like, the author will have short comic strips of just gags and stuff.
Yeah, that's a good idea. You should do that for Fiendish because it kind of suits it. It's funny to decompress at the end of a book with a little joke with the characters that's non-canon.
Yeah, yeah. I
Or
should do that.
it could even be canon if you're just showing them in a moment of repose
Oh,
that's not part of the story, but just some goofy
here.
stuff.
Yeah,
You know what you could do? You could do one where like the soup is too hot and they keep waiting for the soup to cool down, but then it keeps being way too hot, and then they find out a fire salamander crawled in or something.
Oh yeah, just something. No, like these short. And here's an actual bonus comic from Jujutsu Kaisen. So this one does actually have it. Yay. Yeah, I think those shorter stories are. We're talking about how some stories. I remember, what was it? There was some video that talked about, was it Lit Dev, who said Western stories are about the conflict and Eastern storytelling is more about a twist. I don't think it's that strictly defined, but that's interesting because I think short stories, like really short 1-page comics or comic strips, work really well with twist storytelling, and you almost have to keep it to that. If it is like, you don't have enough setup for it to be like this great payoff, oh my gosh, it's almost just, oh, it's an interesting twist, and that's the entertainment, because twists are entertaining.
Yeah. Yeah, like even I'm not proud of it, but even that Mad Max one, like the only reason it exists is because it's called Lost Boy, and at the end he says "Get lost, boy," and it's like I'm like maybe I'm like Jake would like Hype Wizard would like that. It's like almost a pun.
Twists in stories work because
It's
it's
great.
almost, it makes the audience feel smarter, but also involved. It's almost like they've been working on this puzzle the whole time. And so it, releases the same endorphins that you would get like if you were to beat a game or finish a Rubik's Cube. You feel like you earned that ending. So that's
Oh
why it's
yeah.
always good to have. It doesn't necessarily always have to be a twist, but it can just be like a very good ending that seems satisfying because the audience participated in the build-up, throughout
Yeah.
the pages.
Yeah, that's a good question. It could be a 1 day creative block thing. Is I'd be a little curious to look into like the feeling of satisfaction, because some stories are very not satisfying and it's a bummer, and then some are very satisfying and you're like, well, what do you got to do to make it satisfying? And it's definitely a little what you're saying, Camel, is like you got to give them the experience where they are kind of participating and then they kind of feel good at
Yeah,
the
you
end or
want
whatever.
them to feel like they've kind of been a part of it, but also like they're on like they've discovered something at the end too, so.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
It's definitely a like a tightrope to walk almost, where And I think, man, a lot of it is, and I have a writer friend who hates it when I say this, but a lot of it is intuitive, even though I think you can logicalize and rationalize a lot of it. But writing is also having social intelligence and understanding how what you're doing comes across to the audience. So predicting how, and first of all, the audience is smart, and that's how I like to, I try to approach things that way because they are. And what's annoying about a lot of stories now is they treat the audience like they're fucking babies, and that's why people hate it. Honestly, I think it all stems down to that. Just don't treat your audience like they're babies, and try to actually build something that is challenging, and then set out to tell a story and present a premise, and then understand what assumptions people would make about that premise, but then go in a different direction than what you understand most people would assume, but also set up the seeds so when you do go in a different direction, it all makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Is that concise enough? Because, and somebody brought up Shyamalan, and the twists are overdone like Shyamalan. So the issue with Shyamalan, and so the difference between like early Game of Thrones and late Game of Thrones and what Shyamalan does is the twists are, well, yeah, Shyamalan's twists are overdone as well, but they're not set up in a way where it's like, oh, it paid off. This is like intentional. When the twists come off as, it's not just natural, you're just trying to fuck with the audience, or you're just trying to subvert expectations. The audience is smart, and they can tell when you're not genuinely telling a story. You just want to present something that is interesting, and it's all naturally flowing. You're just doing this because I want to show the audience how smart I am and how cool I am by breaking your expectations. That's dumb. Like, nobody likes that. That just means you're fucking with your readers, and don't do that.
That's a good point, that it's a good twist is like the challenge of you actually kind of have to set it up, but you actually have to mask it enough that the audience can't even see it, and then they love that. But
I think
it
that's
is hard.
At this point, it's like almost redundant because we've seen it so often. But like when The Sixth Sense came out, that movie really made people kind of like re-examine, how to like take in stories like that, because everything was set up for you. The kid says at one point, I see dead people, and then every time Bruce Willis tries to do something, there's like a red door handle, and like the fact that his wife isn't really talking to him, but it only really, I don't know anyone who saw that going in. It was just like, oh, he's clearly dead. It was just like, oh, of course, it makes the most sense, retrospectively when you see it later.
Oh, did you say the twist is that he's gay?
Yeah. When he finds out that he's gay,
And then they show all the flashbacks. You're like, oh, he was gay the whole time.
Yeah, when Donnie Wahlberg was blowing him. He's like, oh, yeah, I remember.
What is this movie, The Sixth Sense? I don't remember. I know I watched it, but I don't remember it because I was in like middle school.
It's about a guy who finds out that he's actually gay, and he didn't know it till the end.
That's The Sixth
Was
Sense.
this appropriate for middle school? Okay. I haven't watched this movie.
They're everywhere. It says Alpha Channel. That's right.
I'm very confused. Hello, Michael Rushbrooks. Thank you for Rushbrook. Thank you for joining. And Vaughn is here. Hello. Sixth Sense is one of my favorite movies of all time. Yeah, I have watched it. I just don't remember it at all. That's not the one. Wait, no, I'm misremembering it. I watched so many movies in middle school because I had an English teacher. We were in Taiwan, but she would make us like watch American movies, but then I would never pay attention because I'm like, I didn't give a shit. And so there was The Sixth Sense, and there was this movie where, what was it? They would clone people and then put their consciousness into a new body and bring them back to life. Then I saw the Multipass. Don't remember it, but I watched it.
Oh yeah.
Anyways,
that's the fifth element, not to be confused with The Sixth Sense.
Too many numbers.
Yeah, they all.
God.
Yeah. Yeah, that cloning one sounds like I've heard it before too. There's something called like the Island or something, but I don't know if that's it.
I don't remember. It was sci-fi though.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, I am a failure, so that's the takeaway for today. Surrogates. Surrogates? No, that was a comic. That's a comic, which was drawn. I remember that because that was drawn by SCAD alumni, and it was all the rage because we're like, oh my god, a SCAD alumni got a comic that's getting adapted, and I mean, it was a cool idea. I remember I bought that comic.
Yeah. No, there's this one, the movie, that clone movie is super memory hold. Like no one remembers it. And I think it's a Michael Bay movie. And it stars Ewan McGregor. I'm going to see if I can find it right now.
Okay. The clone though, that was it was a woman. It was like a redheaded woman who got cloned. Can anybody remember what movie that was? Am I having like a Mandela effect thing?
The redheaded woman got... Well, so maybe my movie's wrong, but it is called The Island, the one I was thinking of. And it's about it's about cloned people who are kept on an island, and like they're just kept prisoner until they're needed for body parts, or I think that's the plot, and then they escape, something like that.
Wait, isn't that just reality? I mean, what? No, it doesn't
Yeah.
happen. Jokes, YouTube jokes. Soju has to have blonde hair in the island. No, the one I remember is different. It wasn't just they were clones. It was like, okay, so the person, it was a red-haired woman who died. It was like an action sci-fi movie. And then so she died, but then they regrew her body and sped it up, and then until she was an adult. And then when that body woke up, it was the same person. They put her consciousness into this new grown body.
Is it Cherry 9000? You guys heard of that one?
Don't remember. Just
I'm
like
gonna Google
ambiguous
that.
movies that I didn't pay attention to while people played it at school a long time ago. And it's just a failure. I didn't even play. People are gonna kill me. I didn't even pay attention the first time they played the Lord of the Rings movie. So I was like, I'm gonna draw comics. I was drawing in my sketchbook all the time. I got in trouble a lot, but then I paid attention when I watched it on my own. Don't kill me. Hello,
Here.
Cam. What's up?
Cam, what's up? I'm sharing my screen here. See if it's this movie.
Let's see. That looks 80s-ish.
Yeah. Oh, it says 1987. Yeah. That might be too early for your teacher to show it to you guys.
Yeah. That's some 80s hair. That looks like fun though.
It's hard to
watch any 80s movies.
Yeah, it's hard to guess. Yeah, your plot. I mean, that's kind of a fun game. I'm like, what is it? You watch it in Taiwan, and it's about a woman who gets cloned, and then the clone grows up and becomes her, and she's got red hair. I don't know. I guess I haven't seen that one. It might have got a memory hold.
Yeah, it was English language though. It wasn't Taiwanese.
Yeah.
That. Yeah.
There are so
when
many
she got
movies
cloned,
that
she came out of the
hold.
pod. She was like butt naked.
People don't even know it. There's like
Is it 12 monkeys?
all of the 2000s is a wasteland. There are so many movies that you're like, oh yeah, remember Battlefield LA?
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
There's
Yeah,
what
shit.
was that?
That movie was
Man,
weird.
There was so much weird shit, but there was so much good stuff too. Man, I was just watching like YouTube throwback videos. We're at the age where, okay, if you were in high school in the early 2000s, then oh my god, you got like there's like compilation videos where you could tell the video quality is lower, and it's like this is what high school was like in the 2000s, and it's so different than high school now. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm old. but like that, it's so interesting because everything was different, and you had a lot of weird shit media, but there was some good stuff too, and at least the world was somewhat sane, kind of mostly, right?
Yeah.
People are saying it's the Fifth Element. Okay.
Yeah, that's like a redhead, but I don't think she's cloned. Yeah, Elon Musk posted a tweet today showing how much media uses the word racist, and it goes up exponentially after 2010. And it's like right around 2015, it goes highest ever, and it's been highest ever since. But 2024, it's like so ridiculously high that it's so, and that's like that's right around when movies started to suck. Is 2010. Is like
Yeah, it's
they stayed good for a couple years, and then here and there might be a good movie, but
Yeah, let me pull actually.
I wonder what
There's-
happened at that time. Like,
oh
what
yeah,
trans-
here it is.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's so weird because the experience for me was strange because like growing up, I would live in other town, but I would come to the States like for summer camp and stuff, like on and off. And it was always like you could see the slow encroachment as an outsider. At least that's what it felt like. It was like, oh, when it was, but it's for me, I couldn't tell if it's just because it was like your rose tinted glasses as a child fading away, or if it was really society was changing. But I remember in like what 2003 at summer camp, we had we were made to have a debate about affirmative action, and like I literally didn't understand the subject because I'm like, what the fuck, like you do this, like this is a thing, and then college a few years later, and then it's kind of like full-blown insanity, and that's crazy. Look at how much it shot up. This is God.
Yeah.
And it's weird. It's weird. I think what's really strange is the rise. I remember, if you guys follow Brett Weinstein and Heather Haying, they're like biologists that talk about social issues and how biology and they'll put in a way that's smarter than how I can actually phrase it right now, but how all this makes sense in a biological sense. And they're saying that, well, the less there is a threat of something, because people need a challenge, people make up threats. So part of why our society looks for, well, everything is racist, everything is sexist. Not that those things don't exist, but we almost need the challenge because we are such a safe society and we're so taken care of, we have to find problems. So it's not like there aren't real problems. We certainly have real problems, but it's almost like, I think part of it is it's controlled opposition. It's like, let's pay attention to all these made up problems so the regular folk have something to fight and nothing actually changes. I don't think anything has changed. Am I going like too deep into this? I'm going to stop. Anyways.
You're talking about
No.
the Dark Horse podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do follow them a little bit. And the chat was saying too, Brett Weinstein, he is from Evergreen. That's where I went to college, Evergreen. I'm looking at this timeline. I was there.
You did?
Yeah, from like 2000.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I was following his cancellation like live in real time. That was like one of the first. It was first James Damore for me, and then it was following what happened to Heather and Brett.
Yeah. There was crazy stuff because that was after I graduated. But I remember hearing that the police chief got effed with too because she would like try to stop the riots from happening, and she was a woman, but she was a white woman and a cis white woman, so she ended up getting like forced into retirement, like kind of canceled or whatever. So it was pretty crazy everything that happened. But yeah, I think 2007 I was there for like 3 years. Yeah, 2006 to 2009 I was there. And
Well, 2008 was it 2000? It was maybe 2000. When did Twitter come out? Because I think Twitter really blew up in about 2010. So maybe that was partially why it was this go-to word. It was just like, oh, you're racist, because it was just easy, and it was like a one-way ticket to just accuse somebody of whatever you wanted without having to back it up.
yeah,
I don't know if it was Twitter. It was, I think, around 2010 or 2011 is when Twitter started gaining in popularity. But I've heard another theory, which I think is also interesting, is that Occupy Wall Street was around 2011, 2012, right around that same time frame, and this whole everything is sexist, everything is racist. Let's like just focus on turn innate characteristics into essentially class warfare instead of actually focusing on the real class warfare, so to say, and making change, which is what Occupy Wall Street was on its way to doing. It's controlled opposition and it's a misdirection. That theory kind of makes sense to me, having not, just on the surface of it. Because I remember, I remember being in Hong Kong in 2012, and they had Occupy Wall Street there. It was like a
Yeah.
mirror. It was
Yeah.
global. It was crazy.
Yeah. And now I feel like good about Occupy Wall Street compared to what we have now. Now we have like psycho people in masks, like blah blah blah, black bloc rioters. I'm like, give me the barely woke, just kind of annoying hippies who actually have good hearts, kind of, or something.
Yeah, it's just absolutely insane. It's so strange because I remember kind of being annoyed at all this stuff and not caring back in like 2012 or so, right around that time. And now I'm like, I would give anything to go back.
Yeah.
Like, if I feel like this is a low-key, high-key sense that this is just like a really thorough psyop, like a society-wide whole America level psyop. And if you look at it from the outside, if you step back a little bit, if you're international, it kind of is obvious. You kind of can see it, and it's insane. Like, Americans have gone crazy. Crazy. It's so weird looking at like Japanese Twitter and like it's like in Asia, people just don't understand. It's like you have, there's like a small section of like crazy people, like crazy woke people in Asia as well, but it's like a very small section because Asia is still like mostly very traditional. And then like they look at America, and it's just like Americans just don't like sexy women. Like, they just like ugly people. So if we are targeting America, let's just make everything ugly. That's what they like. Like, that's literally what it's like. It's just like Americans are just crazy. They're weird. They're just like, they don't know how to act like normal humans. So like,
they just see it like surface level. They're like, oh, in America you just got to do everything opposite because they like ugly people. So just make everything ugly.
And I tell my mom about this, and she's just like, these are people who don't have real problems, which is
that's all first world issues.
Yeah,
like, I loved it. Like, I was trying to explain this stuff to her, and she's just like, these people don't have real problems. I'm like, that probably sums it up the most. Which, it's not even that people don't have real problems. I think our generation does have problems, but because it's also on a level where it's almost like part of me feels like, again, maybe getting too deep into this, we'll get back to talking about comics, I swear, but it's almost a misdirection. Again, I think all this stuff, this activist stuff, is a misdirection because a lot of people, instead of putting your energy into building your business, building your career, building your talents, that energy of my generation, a whole generation of young people, have been misdirected into putting their energy into activism and finding problems where problems don't really exist, instead of actually solving real issues and building themselves. And it's like, I think we're a fucking lost generation. It's not that there aren't real problems. It's like it's been a giant psyop into, well, let's not actually change anything. And it's just sad because I think a lot of talent has also been lost. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm kind of embarrassed about our generation. I wonder how we'll stack up, because we might stack up as like the worst generation of all time.
A lot of times too.
I don't know, man.
This is, I think we're starting to see it primarily with millennials, but it's definitely going to see a lot into Gen I or whatever. There's a huge lack of motivation. So, like, you look at like why guys try to impress women, or even the fact that they try to impress women. What do? They get a nice car, they get a nice house, they try to get a nice job. But if there's no potential for finding a mate, then the interest of securing your own sort of person goes away. And so if you feel like, oh, there's no chance that I'm going to get a girlfriend or a wife or whatever, then they become fucking really good at video games. And so if there's interest, if there's no attempt at trying to better, yourself, then society fails as well. And so I think we're seeing that in real time, where there's a lot of guys out there who, because women are dating way out of their league and going nowhere as a result, through a variety of dating apps, guys are like, I'm going to become really, really, really good at fucking Call of Duty or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, you know what that makes me curious about is like, what if you tried to do like a sci-fi type story to sort of like predict the future? It's always like kind of hard to do, and you don't, if you do it, you worry to be like heavy-handed or too obvious or too ridiculous. But and I like the mental switch of how it kind of becomes, so much of it for me is like resisting a little bit, like, oh fuck, I don't like the way the world's going. I don't like any of this shit. I wish, even though I'm not like the most handy dude, my dad is, and I'm like, I wish we were more like them. I wish like my generation was like handy and shit. And but the other thing that's funny is like, yeah, what if it's the future's going this way where everyone's just getting really good at video games, nobody's having sex anymore, blah blah blah. You're like, well, what is even that if there's no resistance? It's like, yeah, like that's like the new world. It would be like sci-fi, and people would be like, yeah, why are you complaining? Nobody fucks. No big deal. That's just the way it is. What are you, some weird guy who fucks? Like,
Well, that's like low key what they get to in Demolition Man. That movie came out in '97.
Yeah. So
oh yeah,
that's
yeah.
just the thing, though.
Crazy. And he's like,
It's
what?
almost like everything that's happening now, because I love sci-fi, and I've been trying to think of it, and I'm like, okay, man, I just don't have the brains for this, maybe, but what would be the commentary on our times? And I feel like the commentary has already been done. We were warned. Demolition Man, Dune with AI, like on all these like absolutely fucking Idiocracy, 1984, over and over again. We were warned, and then it's still happening, right? So what is there to do? We're just kind of living out that fallout, and I think as far as like sci-fi writing goes, we're in the fallout stage. And we're just gonna have to wait to see how this plays out before new ideas can be generated, because there is no. This is kind of like, oh, this is just the resolution part. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Wolfer says something too. He says we were warned in Genesis. That's kind of interesting too, so that's something like that. One thing people say is they say at any point people are always claiming that they're in the Book of Revelations or that the end is nigh. Like at any point. So you're like, well, no, this time. But I'm kind of like, no, yeah. This time. It is extra close to Revelations this time. Like they would be right one time at some point if everyone's constantly predicting. It's like, well, I guess we were right that one time, the last time. Like they say, broken clock's right twice a day. It's like the apocalyptic clock will be right once at the moment that it is destroyed.
Yeah. I know, we'll eventually get there. Let me read a couple of super chats real quick and get back to this. Mr. Burger for $10. Thank you so much. Stay awesome, weirdos. Greetings from the greatest animator in CG, Mr. Burger Narwhal. I've started a new cult. Join the Burger Bunch. Dental and 401k available.
I'm in.
It's not legally binding.
my cult can fold into yours. I'm kind of done with cults for a while anyway, but I flew too close to the sun.
Yeah. Are you sure? Cults are such a great thing, Narwhal. I should embrace them. Or start your own. That's you're onto something. Just start your own, and then everything will be good. Thank you for the super chat, Mr. Burger. Appreciate it. Wolfler for $5. Thank you. Rick Rubin says the audience comes last in service to the audience when making art. The audience gets the best art when the artist serves themselves. I don't know if that's entirely true.
That's interesting, but yeah, it depends how you frame it, I guess, because you could write for yourself, but writing involves thinking about the audience a little bit. So then you're kind of doing both that way. But I have thought like
it's not binary. It's not like, oh, it's either you're a fucking crazy person running around smearing fucking shit on the walls, calling it art, or you're a corporate moron sitting there with your legs chained to a desk, typing dribble. It's like it's somewhere in between. Like you have to know how to be commercial, but also stand true to what you see as your vision. I think a lot of the issues that like you see with a lot of these movies are they have too many cooks because they have producers in there telling them like, we'll do this and do that, and then you get some bland fucking taco.
Yeah, that gets really. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's a good point. If it feels like it's made for, what do you call that, a focus group? That is like consumption. Yeah, pretty much as bad as it gets. And then if it's made singularly, but then it is often pretty great and fun. Even when they do that, even if it's bad, it's kind of fun. Like if someone is really making a
But also, like,
idiosyncratic kind of thing.
unfortunately, there's a lot of people who use that idea of, well, art is what I see it to be, as an excuse to not be good. And I
Right,
get a lot of
exactly.
guys
And
with
a lot
that.
of people
yeah.
who are
Yeah.
a single creator, they don't take feedback, which there are very few geniuses in the whole entire history of humanity that can create without needing any feedback and just be perfect. Like, everybody needs feedback. So I think it's a balance, but the way you get to that balance, that sweet spot between what the creator's vision is and what the audience is, but the creator creating something that is genuine, but also not having their ego take over, which is what it is when the creator's vision idea path goes wrong. It's when it's about the creator's ego and not just what they can contribute. Well, that's the key, isn't it? It's neither. It's not the creator or the audience. Neither is actually what should be focused. It's in service of the actual story and the art form. Like, if you put that first, you know what I mean? Then that's when actual good product comes out.
Yeah,
I think that's something separate. Like, why don't you think about it as I'm serving the art?
Yeah. Filler Ol says that. He goes, genuine art is good when you're lying to yourself. It's bad. That makes sense to me. Like, it's when you're kind of going, because there's a natural way that it would want to go. And if you're like, because of your own ego or whatever, you're like, no. That's like what woke people will do sometimes. They're like,
That's so
we're
funny.
Gonna,
I totally knew a guy growing up right after college, and he thought of himself as an artist. And he used to have this house. It was like a shit house, but he would throw shows at the house. And so, like, he'd put his art up on the wall, and he put his roommate's art up on the wall. And I remember, like, I would go to these just because whatever, it was part of the scene. And he would ask me what I thought, and I always thought it was terrible. But I remember trying to be more constructive about it. And I was like, not for nothing, dude, but you've shown this piece here 3 times, and you've gotten better. Would you consider either not showing it or improving it or doing something new? And he was like, no, I don't need to, because this represents who I am in the universe. I was like, all right, you're fucking...
Yeah, that's stupid. Yeah, I was talking with Joe Catapano, and he had a term, but I was telling him, I think they do it, I can't remember where I heard this, but it's kind of like manga Japan kind of thing, where if you're learning to draw, like, the teacher won't even talk to you until you can draw good. He's like, I'm not even going to teach you until you can draw good. Like, go get good at drawing and come back, and then we'll talk. But like, and he's like, yeah, prereqs are crazy. And I'm like, man, that is something America could do well to, like, move in that direction a little bit. Is like it's sort of heartless. Yeah, and it's sort of heartless and sort of hurt feelings, but it feels like in a way that it doesn't hurt people's feelings as much. I feel like it's like okay way to approach it.
Well, that also, no, feelings don't matter. That can also be taken too far. The correct approach, I think, is not, be melting down about your feelings and everything is only about your feelings. And then the opposite of, everything is about just like, let's try to make people feel bad. But then if they feel bad, you mock them for it. Like, that's not how you get actual meritocracy, because meritocracy and result is what actually matters. So just being an asshole isn't the key, and also just coddling people isn't the key. And I think that's two opposites of the, whatever you say, social political spectrum in our times. And the correct path, again, is a middle ground. It's putting meritocracy first and just being realistic, but you don't have to be an extra asshole about it. And that's kind of what you learn when you give critique to artists. It's be realistic, say, like, pinpoint what their first ask, what is your level? So critique them on a level, like, if they're a junior in college, don't critique them as if they're already working for a publisher and you're like, why are you already, at this level? You suck. You have to adjust your critique for that, and blah, blah, blah. And also be honest at the same time. It's nuance, but I think, does that make sense?
Yeah, and you could critique, like, based on objective reality, like that as you see it. If you're the one in that superior position and they are seeking out, like, your opinion, and you could be like, like, whatever the human likenesses are off, the proportions of the anatomy are off, the perspective is off. Go draw The thing I think this is the hardest thing to draw, I think everyone should draw, this could be like the prereq thing, is draw a woman wearing a cowboy hat on a relaxing on a couch. She has to be relaxing. In perfect
Right,
perspective.
Hovering.
Yeah.
Right.
When
Yeah.
I was
Just that's interesting.
Oh, go ahead.
Just drawing, say, a figure wearing something that's a good prompt, because just drawing like a figure in a costume or a character, that's not challenging enough. If you can get across some kind of emotiveness, so you have to feel like she's sad, feel like she's emoting, or she's relaxing, that's a good test. Sorry.
Yeah. Dele says the original test had a horse behind her too, because horses are also super hard to draw, and a motorcycle out the window. I'd add that. So if you can draw that, then you can draw anything. You're ready to be a pro. But yeah.
Wait, the horse is riding the motorcycle through her window while she's
Yeah.
on the couch. I got it.
Yeah. See, that's why you're a pro, because I can picture that in your style. As you said that, I'm like, it's kind of like the Cecil cover.
Yes, I can do it. I've done all these things, and I like drawing all of them.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say that when I was in college, they actually wouldn't allow you to sign your work because they would be like, "You're not an artist yet. Only artists sign their work." And the idea too behind it was, I mean, like, and I never did it, but I saw one kid get his ass fucking handed to him in painting class, and he signed it, and the guy said, or the professor was like, "Why did you sign that?" And he goes, "Because I'm done with it." He goes, "Have you been doing this for 25 years?" He said, "No." He goes, "Then you're not fucking done with it. Take your name off it." And they treated it as doing it like a how would you, like a touchdown dance, like a football, because I know there was in college, you're not allowed to do touchdown dances because they don't want the ego to go to your head. And so that was essentially the same process. It was just like, yeah, you're not there yet. Until you get paid for this painting, you're not signing anything. So we were never allowed to sign anything.
Bring that back. It's the same idea as it partially. I mean, this is like a very basic version of it, but why kids aren't allowed to swear? It's because you're not ready for that yet. And imposing that on people on every step of their lives makes sense. And our society is almost pushing towards the opposite, where, well, as long as you feel something, then that's what matters. Feeling good is what matters all the time. That's really bad for people. And I've experienced this. This is how I got to like my point where I am now, right? Because I've never really been that political, whatever. But I remember after college being in this environment where it was everybody around me that was doing art and comics, and it was this idea that, well, you don't need to try. Like you're good enough. Everything was about feeling good, and it was a lot of like, what is it, third wave, fourth wave feminism, what the fuck ever. And like I was all about the earlier stuff, but whatever, like the modern feminism started coming in, and that's when the Jameson Moore stuff happened. That was like the first red flag for me, where I was like, this is not the same as like, being against Chinese foot binding, which is what I thought this was about.
Yeah.
I'm from that culture, and I'm like, that was fucked up. This is different, you guys. Wow, this is getting weird. And like, I hated that sense of you're good enough. You should just feel good about yourself, and you're enough, and everything is valid. I hate that shit. Valid. What the fuck do you mean valid? What do you mean valid? You say something, so I have to validate it? You said it. I have to make you feel good about it? Like, why don't you have the internal confidence to just be like, I don't need you to validate me for what you say? And also, like, if your work is bad, it's bad. If work is good, it's good. Why do I have to validate or unvalidate it? It's almost like they've taken this sort of level of needing the only validation, let's put it this way, the only validation you need are from people really, really close to you, okay? So, like, your boyfriend or girlfriend or your mom or dad, and that's about it. And, like, your siblings, maybe a couple close friends. That should be the only people whose validation matter, who should, like, really care about your feelings. Outside of that, the further you get away from that, like, internal space, the more it's just all about merit. And that's how you should, like, people should be raised to understand society functions. And it's almost like we're expecting to treat everybody like your family, and I need to coddle you all the time, except society doesn't function on that level because it's not about merit anymore. Like, I don't have time to care about the feelings. Like, I want to be respectful, don't get me wrong, but I'm going off on a rant now. There's nothing to do with anything that we're actually streaming about. But it's just really annoying because I'm so mad because my art actually got worse at that time. And it's just that whole idea that you're good enough, you don't have to try. Fucking toxic. Get rid of this shit. Bring meritocracy back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, some person in the chat, he's like, someone asked Rini if she would validate their parking, and she got really pissed.
Yeah, I got triggered, guys. Oh my god.
You don't need my validation for your parking, okay? You go park.
You don't need my validation. Take a validation. Shut up, yes.
Yeah. Speaking of validation, that's okay though if Dale likes your pit.
Oh yeah,
But,
you
yeah.
should. Dale should. If Dale validates your pit drawing, then that is good. That is good. I'll be happy.
I don't need validation. All I need is dopamine from social media. A constant stream.
And also people that are going to back Earthbound right now. This is the only validation I will allow on my channel.
There was like this old ass South Park where they talk about that. Hey, look at that.
Yeah, and that now it feels striking distance. So it's 7:50. Yeah, whatever. Striking distance. Who knows?
Yeah, we can look at this. Is like 4 hours left until 3 a.m. Well, over here, midnight on Paris time. Hell yeah! Josh Justice, come for the comments. Say for meritocratic foot binding. That should be the tagline of my channel. Thank you so much. Want to screenshot that? Right? Wait, I'm probably gonna get in trouble if I actually use that.
And you're like, no, read the words. Reading comprehension. Meritocratic clearly means that the foot binding is not worthy. It does not happen here.
yeah, clearly. That's what it says. Oh dear. Time to get in trouble. Yeah, yay! Let's the goal is of course 4,000 on Earthbound. This is closing tonight, by the way. If anyone has just jumped in and missed the earlier part of the stream, this campaign is closing tonight in like 4 hours, and there is no in demand. So if you like what you're seeing, then you should definitely back it right now. We're trying to get to 4,000, but let's try to aim for 3,500 right now. And I am drinking for backings, which is probably why I'm tipsy and rambling. And but that's fine. That's fine. I will drink more. Back the book.
What other interesting Rini rants are in store for us? Should she get a few more drinks in her? Time will tell. But back the book to find out.
That's right. Do you wanna do a quick pitch for the book for anyone who's just here?
Yeah, so this is part 2, and you can buy part 1 to catch up. And it's the Earthbound series. This all centers around the Grand Prix fighting tournament, which is like top secret, kind of like blood sport, like very, very very clandestine, very honor based, not like a famous celebrity type thing. Although anyone who knows anyone will be there, kind of thing too, as far as the fighters of the galaxy go, great fighters. So that's where people think they might meet someone, and into this sprawl of a situation walks WizKid. He enters as one of the fighters, but he has a ulterior agenda to kind of solve a little mystery, but he has to do 2 things at once. Kind of, he has to participate in the tournament and try and figure out what's going on behind the scenes.
Alright, and here are the we haven't gone through the perks yet, but this looks like a very book focused campaign.
Yeah.
Short and sweet.
Down Goes Solo says add a last minute original. I might do that.
Ooh.
I have a bunch of, like some of my stacks of pages are back here of like Percival and stuff. Maybe I can throw up a Percival page.
You should.
But I have to look at it
up in different places, Norwell, because I thought I saw this one up before. Or am I wrong?
This page?
No, this campaign. I thought it was at like 7,500, or maybe I'm just like...
Yeah, I know, yeah, because it's also on Fund My Comic, and that closed, but that closed at $8,000. So this will, it's approaching $12,000 total.
Got it. Do you have a preference now that you've been on both?
There's pros and cons, but I really like the camaraderie of Fund My Comic. But Indiegogo's a bigger site, still a little easier to use. But
But it
I
seems
probably
like
will
you're
keep
doing
doing what I do.
better on FMC than you are IGG.
Yeah, but I launched it exclusively on Fund My Comic for like a month, and then I launched on
Okay.
Indiegogo.
Yeah, that's what I did too. Though, I launched that way because Fund My Comic has really good rates. There's for the percentage is really good. Even though it's a smaller audience, I do like that it's built for comics and customer service. Luke is way more responsive. Obviously, like Indiegogo basically ignores you, though the platform for Indiegogo is just like more well fleshed out. So I don't know. I like having the structure of using Fund My Comic first and then going to Indiegogo. That worked well. So, you think this is how you will continue to run your campaigns, Narwhal?
Yeah, what I've been doing is Earthbound always gets the Fund My Comic exclusive, and then other stuff. I want to test Kickstarter actually on I think Cerberus 2, and it might be Kickstarter first and then an Indiegogo follow up, and then like not a Fund My Comic for that one. So because setting up 3 campaigns for some reason that really drains my soul, but I can set up 2 without wanting to die.
This stuff is exhausting, though. I mean, it's even 2. It starts to feel like it's either 2 campaigns for the same book or too many campaigns in a row. You just start like there's just some merging together, and it's like I need a break, or you just start like bullshitting stuff because it's not that. And you don't want to get to that point where you feel like you can just kind of like hand wave things on a campaign because you do care, but you just like, I've done this so many times, and God, I just want to like actually put out the book now.
Yeah. I'm listening. I got my headphones in, but I'm down here on the floor. Actually, is my stack of original art. So I'm gonna look through it real fast and
all right, have fun.
see if there's something.
Bye.
Nice dream.
Disappears, and we're looking at his attic ceiling.
Oh, actually, I think I can bring it back the stack. So.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I drew digital for so long.
Oh, yeah,
but
so much done already.
Yeah, since Christmas I started doing as much traditional as possible. So this one's going back burner, but I did start a
Hold on. Full screen that.
a anthro vampire story, and this is like the first panel of that.
Interesting.
I don't know when I'll get back to
drawn.
Yeah, that. Yeah, well, I'm trying different things. Like, so Percival, it's kind of crazy. Percival is drawn. Yeah, I can show you. These pages are actually kind of cool. All the Percival pages are on tracing paper, and then I cut the characters out and slap them on. So it looks really weird.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That is so weird. Huh.
And that's at 11 by 17, so these are big and kind of fun.
Well, all right.
Here's
the interesting process.
The girl for the possible Nosferatu cover, because I'm trying to re-release Nosferatu. And here's a test for the Mad Max kind of comic. That's like the scribbly kind of nib drawing.
Oh yeah, I like that style. You should do more of that.
Yeah. Yeah, and here's the Mad Max page. This one is 2 pages just taped together. I think you've done that, Greenie, but
yeah. But it's like, I'm like all embarrassed about it. I'm like, oh no, it's not perfect.
Yeah.
How much are you cleaning that when you scan it, Narwhal? Or are you just leaving it mostly as is?
I've been I try and leave a little bit of the knit and grit.
Yeah.
So yeah, not cleaning it too much. Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to find something I can kind of just throw on the campaign and see if it brings in a little extra at the end.
Yeah, you should. I'm sure that'll give this campaign a boost. I mean, if you have something, maybe consider it. Scan it right now and throw it up. Yay.
Yeah.
Have a NAR option. Yeah, you have a lot of original art. I mean, obviously, that's another good thing about original art. You can sell it for money.
Yeah.
Alex PRB wants the Mad Max. Well, you're going to have to bid for it, I assume.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe the Mad Max page I can throw up.
Yeah, if you're gonna include it, especially. It could be like, well, what if we reach 3,500 or 4,000? You'll throw it up. Hold on.
Yeah. Yeah, there. Can you see the lined paper? I drew that one. I was like, fuck it,
Yeah.
I'll just draw on lined paper. I don't give a shit.
Jesus Christ. Give me a fucking aneurysm. I mean, I was trying to hold it in with the fucking, like, copy and pasting and vellum. I was like, oh, it's fine. Line paper! Holy shit! How? Okay. This is fine. This is fine.
Yeah. So Mad Max, sorry, I'll just throw this up real fast. I'll show it again, but this will go up, I think, before midnight. So keep an eye. But it might not sell. You know, it might only be up for like a half an hour. But someone can grab it. Probably $160. I'll throw it up for, which is steal.
Elmer's glue. Oh my god. You know, it's gonna be like, oh, I used construction glue to tape like rice paper together. And that's what and then I drew with my comic with Sharpie on the rice paper.
Actually, you know what might make you laugh is, do you guys have a stamps.com account? Or
Not
anymore?
anymore.
You don't do your fulfillment. Yeah. Because so you can order stamps from stamps.com and they come on 8.5 by 11 sheets and they're like 2 giant stickers and then you slap that on the package or whatever. So I use those, but once they print out and they're done, I have like hundreds of, like almost thousands of these sheets of sticker backing. That's kind of waxy, semi see-through sticker backing. And I use that a ton for drawing and it's kind of fun. But
yeah, it's always good to reuse stuff. Whenever I get any of my books in, you know, I just printed, oh god, like 150 second prints of Hail Salad, and each one comes with a backing board because that's the way they send them. Because they're all like hollow foil, so they try to make sure nothing happens to them in shipping. Anyways, I have 150 backing boards. So I just start using those to do sketches on, and that's what I do all my thumbnails on now. Like, I don't you know, and they're not good enough to like put in a, you know, for my books, you know, because they get kind of damaged. So
yeah. Oh yeah, I don't draw on shipping supplies, but so you're right. It is good to recycle materials. I mean, I'm sure we all do this. Like whenever I get mailed stuff from Amazon or from other books, I save like the bubble wrap.
Oh yeah, I do that too.
If you guys get mailed stuff from me, I'm sorry. Like the bubble wrap is probably recycled because I save like boxes and packing material. But so I get my groceries like delivered by Amazon, and they'll put like this cardboard piece under the bag to keep like the groceries, you know, from like sagging through the paper bag. And that cardboard underlayer is the perfect size to put in a Gemini to like stiffen. It's like just about the size of a comic, but a little more narrow. So I just mailed out a few books for the store, which by the way, store orders for the Fiendish website. Y'all are getting your books. I'm sorry for the wait. Y'all getting your books. I just mailed out a bunch. The rest are going to be done by RJ. But yeah, the ones that are mailed by me, you get Amazon grocery cardboard backings. You're welcome. Nice. Whatever works.
Yeah. Yeah, the some packages come with the giant bubble wrap. They're like singular, like they're the size of a 6-inch sub sandwich. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? These like big little packages.
Yeah.
Those make a huge pop. You can squeeze them with one hand and they just pop so loud and it's so fun. It's what were you gonna say?
Oh, it's like it looks like a giant shredded wheat. You know, you can get those giant shredded
yeah. Like it's just like a giant. It's like a little mini pillow almost. Yeah, a giant little.
It's a pillow for a dolly.
Yeah, and my 1.5-year-old nephew, I pop those at him like I'm a cowboy, and he just cracks up so hard, and it's awesome.
Oh, he's 1.5. Oh, I didn't know he was that little.
Yeah, it's like the perfect age, I realized, because that's the age where they become actual people, and you're like, oh my god, you're awesome, dude. Before that, you're like, get out of here, you're boring. You're boring, dude, get out. But then he's
No,
1.5, you're like, no, you can hang.
They're like figuring out how to like pee and breathe until that age.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's so cool. That's awesome. I remember you telling the dinosaur story about him.
Oh, yeah.
Aw, so cute.
Yeah.
No, chat is saying they destroy bubble wraps when they get it. Blasphemy! Send your bubble wraps to me. I don't want to pay for it.
That was a rap, and you didn't mean it.
Wrap.
Blasphemy!
Wait,
Send
no,
your bubble wraps to me.
I didn't know that. I rhymed without even trying. This is the power of wine. Who would have known? Still wrapping up work.
I rhyme without trying. This is the power of wine.
Damn.
Keep trying.
Well, I'm too drunk for that. But...
Yeah, you didn't get there yet.
It was a noble effort.
Guys, I gotta get going. It's almost midnight here, so.
Okay.
Well, thank you for joining. Anything you want to shout out before we part ways?
That's it. That's all I got. No, well, good luck, bro. See you around.
Thanks. See you later. Thanks for hanging.
Yeah. Anything out? Everybody follow Camel on Twitter. I guess.
Nah, there's nothing to shout out. Just,
no. Okay.
Oh,
Don't
I'll
follow
say this.
Camel.
Half of this is the Blu-ray, so it's here. I got it.
Oh,
ordered it.
Let me full screen you.
Yeah.
Yes. Nice. Look at that. That's badass.
Hollow foil goodness, and I got the toys. The toys came in.
Yeah.
All this, 50% of the orders are out. So the other 50%, I'm just waiting on Eric to send me the rest of the little toys. But everything's here. So as soon as those come in, the rest of the orders will go out.
Awesome.
That's it.
Fantastic. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that because I got a thingy. I forgot what, but
yours was mailed, Rainey. Yours was
okay.
Mailed. But you also got the digital copy. If anyone ordered the digital copy of the Blu-ray, check your emails, check your spam. That went out like a month and a half ago. So that's all ready to go if you guys have that stuff.
Cool. All right. Well, looking forward to it. Thank you for joining.
No problem. All right, bye, guys. See you.
Bye.
See ya. Rini, I'm adding the Mad Max original art real fast. So.
Yay! Awesome. We get original art. That should give it a boost. Yeah, I have this is a Cthulhu cup that somebody gifted me. I have a thing for like these kind of decorated cup things. Yeah, you guys know I have the skull mug that I haven't brought out in a while, but I have like another one that's like a tentacle mug. I try to use this one because honestly, the skull mug, it feels weird drinking anything other than beer out of it, because it's like I'm drinking wine out of a big. It's made for ale or beer, right? So this is like wine, and the other ones I'm afraid of like damaging them. So anyways, this one's like nice and sturdy. I love this stuff. This is fun. Very Castlevania. Well, thank you. This is my aesthetic. Release the Kraken. That's right. Dun, dun, dun. Thank you. Rini loves the old ones. Muhahaha. Yes, I do. Thank you for the link. Let's pull up the campaign again. Let's see.
Yeah.
And
let's risk some angels.
Yeah, let's risk some angels and see where we are on the campaign. We got. Oh, it's almost midnight. It's 2 minutes to midnight. All right. Let's see if this has gone up and how. Well, midnight my time, not the actual campaign close. But
yeah.
Yeah, it's going up like 100 every time. That's awesome. Woo! Thank you, everybody. You guys are awesome. Wait, I should play like a celebration. I haven't been doing that.
Yeah, do you have a little video? Thank you.
Yeah, I do. Let's go. Thank you, everybody. Woo! Yeah! And if we get to 4,000, I'll play the cat. I mean, you guys have seen the cat, but I'll play it, and then we'll do
Nice. You're warbling a little bit, by the way, but I think you'll be. Try again. Oh, now it's good.
Mike
I
Coon,
think
come on.
you just need to give Mike Coon some attention, and then it starts working again.
Yeah, I know. No, the problem is I actually do know kind of what the problem is. I never speak into the mic. Like, there's like a little indicator. I'm supposed to talk in from this direction, but I'm always like off here, not speaking into my mic, because it looks better if the mic is at this third of the screen and my face is here. So I always do this instead of actually speaking into it correctly. So this probably sounds better because I'm like just like punching myself in the face with the mic. Anyways. Which, by the way, look at all this stuff I have on it. It's fucking ridiculous. But yeah, sorry, Mike Coon. Michael Ferraro for $1.99. Thank you so much. Hail Arini, Hail Narwhal, just back to Earthbound. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. This should have gone up more. So thank you for your support. We got to get to 4K. That's right. Let's see how we get to 4K. We can do this with 3 more hours on this. All right, we're gonna do this. I don't know if I can do like 3 more hours, but we're gonna try.
Yeah, we don't even need to, but yeah, I feel very honored. Yeah, of just going another half hour or whatever, even. But
yeah, we'll go at least an hour or so.
Let's go like 1 more hour.
I can't stay up like forever, but like I'm not tired yet. It's like one of those nights I'm supposed to go to bed, but I'm not tired yet, so it's probably like it's not gonna happen, and then I'm gonna regret it tomorrow. But it's fine. It's fine. It's one of those things.
It'll be one of those days where you have to pull over and take a nap in your car.
Yeah, I do that all the time. Just like by the side of the road, I'm like, oh, I'm so tired. I'll just like sleep by the highway. No, I don't do that. Disclaimer. That's dangerous. Only a couple of times on road trips, no joke. But I do stupid things. I just take like 12-hour road trips without much planning, and then I'll realize I can't make the 12 hours all in one go. So I'll just like pull over somewhere where it's like not too shady, and like, let's take a nap.
Yeah.
Hey, a bad idea, but hey, I'm still alive.
I put up the art, and didn't get a chance to say it's up yet, and it sold already. It sold right away.
What?
Yeah.
How much who got it? Is it Alex?
I can't dox him in it. I think it's not Alex though. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
And sorry, Alex.
Alex,
I'll have a sketch for you. I'll just get you something special. But yeah, that's fun. And that makes me think too. I'm like, oh, I should charge more. It sold so fast. I could.
Robert
next time
said he got the Mad Max page.
Hey, Robert. Nice. Thanks, dude. It was Robert. Nice. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Cool. I'm looking forward to sending it to you. That's fun. It's a 1-page story or whatever. I wonder. It's only lettered digitally. I almost want to letter it traditionally, but I probably won't. But maybe next time.
It's hard to letter traditionally. We actually had a traditional lettering class in college because, like, I went to school for comics, and they're like, "Well, this is how you letter traditionally," and that's like the one class I paid no attention to. So we will not need this at all. Because everything else is like really fascinating. Oh, the craft of comics, but then it's like who letters traditionally? Except lo and behold, I do have one professor, but he still he creates like this kids adventure fantasy historical comic. Anyways, I think he letters everything traditionally. It's kind of really impressive. It adds character to the lettering, but it's really hard. It's hard work.
Yeah. Yeah, I look at lettering. I'm like, I'm not gonna do that.
It's we were taught to do it with like a lettering guide, which I can never figure it out. I'm like, okay, I'm pretty good at geometry, but I can never figure out the fucking lettering guide.
Yeah, they have some way to keep it all parallel and not too tall, not too short.
It really frustrated me because I'm like, I have pretty neat handwriting, so I'm like, just fucking roll out the lines and write fucking anything. No, I'm lettered digitally. It's so much easier. You know how when you're lettering, it honestly, you kind of edit the dialogue until the very last minute, and like I like that flexibility because there's just so much that can change, and I like really creating a harmony between the images and the dialogue. So like, I'm sure you know what I mean. The shape of how the words look against the art matters. So if you can adjust that right up until you go to print, that's really helpful.
Yeah, and I do that. Yeah, it is. It's kind of fun to do that kind of fine tuning. And speaking, we were talking about like thinking about the audience. You can kind of really get nitty gritty with that, where you're like, I really want the flow and the readability and the clarity to be like as good as possible. I have a funny example of that. Maybe I can pull up while we're just chatting. Let me see if I can find this. It's an old Earthbound page. But
Yeah, let's see.
yeah.
It'll be fun. Oh no, Dango Solo has to go. Thank you for joining. See you
Thanks,
next
Solo.
week.
Thanks for
Hopefully.
it was his idea to post some art and it sold right away, so thank you. He might have had
Yeah.
designs to buy it himself, but he missed out. Next time.
Oh no, next
So,
time. Well,
yeah.
thank you for joining Dango Solo. Hopefully you can join tomorrow. Creative Block is on Phil's channel tomorrow. So if anybody wants to join that, we will be returning along with Jake and Phil over on Phil's for Creative Block. It'll be fun. Thank you, Travis. Refamiliarize all those theorems. I'm not even kidding though. Geometry, okay, I'm not like great at math, but geometry was the one math class that like I was really good at. I don't understand when people will say they were good at math, but geometry is the one that they sucked at. Like I hear a lot of people saying they're the opposite. No, like I sucked at everything but geometry. I barely passed all my math classes and I got straight A's in geometry because it's all visual. It all makes sense. You just have to put it in your head. It's not hard at all.
Yeah.
People not get it. It's totally, completely, easily understandable. Mortal V says I suck at geometry. No, like honestly, I mean, I have such problems with standardized education. If they had presented a lot of specifically mathematical subjects in a way that was more interesting, I would have honestly loved it. Because math is kind of a language. It is a language, isn't it? And that's fascinating. But that's not how it was presented. When I was in school, it was like, oh, just memorize it because you have to. We weren't taught that this is actually a vast and interesting subject that will help you understand the universe, basically.
Yeah, they could pitch it with a lot of the stuff better. History is like that. Yeah, like the kids, you don't understand this shit is awesome.
Fuck, history was so boring, but I love history now. Like, history class was so boring, but now I just love this stuff.
Yeah.
There's so much you can learn.
So, Earthbound was funny because it was my first comic and I jumped in. I was like, it's so overwhelming, but I know I got to start, so I'm just going to start because otherwise I'll never start. So I was just blowing through. And then I had a few readers early on that were very harsh in a good way, like honestly harsh. And there's one guy, he's not around anymore. He might, I don't know. I remember his tag, but I won't even like dox that. But he was a cool, nice guy way early back in the day. And he was like reading it and he was like, this part's confusing. I don't know what's going on here. It's actually kind of pissing me off because it's so confusing. And I was like, okay. And he's like, but I just popped sleeping pills, so maybe that's just me. And then the next morning he's like, and anybody, I don't know. He's like, next morning he's like, yeah, it's still confusing or whatever. So
like that.
I'll show you. Like, I only have the new version. I wish I could find the old version, but I can try and remember what it was. So the scene is like they're running up the hill. They get to the chain link fence. Whiz kid. Huff, huff, tell him, note, the recording device for the interview ran out of batteries, and I can't remember all that crap you said. And then WizKid's playing golf. He goes, ping! And he goes, wow, did you see that one, Note? That was quite the shot, Blogart. It's not like it matters, really. Why not just make it up? Because, ping! Oh my goodness, Note, did you see that one? I missed it. Well, quit looking at your dick, Note. It's 6 inches, just like the rest of us. We all got 6-inch dicks, right, Wiz? I really don't feel like sitting for another interview, Blogart. Wiz, I haven't been fully transparent with you regarding the purpose and application of these interviews. So that's like, it's up here though, is the point of, so adding these sound effects in between the word bubbles, like really works for the readability. Like it's kind of fun. And it went through multiple iterations before I was there, and beforehand it was not working at all. And the guy let me know, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's fun dialogue too. I love how it's sort of like they're addressing an actual practical issue that they're dealing with. Like that's the plot, but the characterization is coming through, and that's the best dialogue where both of those things are being addressed all at the same time. So there's like little banter, but you also are moving forward the progression of the story, like this whole interview thing. Like I don't know what's going on, but that's cool. I love how you did this.
Thanks. Yeah, it's like I guess a little joke, kind of like he keeps getting distracted by the pings, kind of. And I'm like, oh, you could do that.
Chat, you don't have to elaborate on dick sizes in chat. Thank you. It's all right. We can move on. Okay. That wasn't a prompt.
That's psychological, and that's why people love Blogart, because he's literally pulling a funny psychological move there, where what do you call it? It's like, oh god, it's like communism of dick inches is what he wants. So like he knows if you average it all out, then he's going to go up. So he wants to average it all out, and he's trying to get other people to agree with him. Yeah.
All right, amazing. Goddamn. Simply agrees in chat will elaborate. You know what? I'm not the boss of you. I don't tell you what to do. I'll do what you will. The customer is always right. Yeah, that was great. I like the sound effects between the word bubbles as well. That stuff takes time to figure out. I think a lot of like you can try to plan, and tell me if this is kind of how comics, the process works for you as well. You can try to plan, but a lot of the small things that click, that makes the story smooth, and all the little like dialogue lines that really pop out, and small storytelling details that merge the writing and the art and the dialogue and the art, that happens at the end. It's almost like you revise right up until the end, and then everything like clicks together right at the end. You know what I mean? Or
yeah.
Maybe I'm just like really sloppy with that. What I do.
No, I agree, and I do that too. I have seen people that don't do that, and I think it is like potentially, I don't know, if it's like to not do it, you have to have been doing it a long time, I think, and then maybe people would kind of stop doing what we do, which is to tinker, and then like. Yeah, like who like Chuck Dixon or something would kind of just hand in a script, and you turn in the art. He slaps the art over the words, and then it's done. But,
yeah.
And not to speak for him either, but that's like how I imagine like the old pros do it, kind of.
Yeah, that's kind of how I imagine it too. But now that I've been taking writing seriously since I started Fiendish. It's really dumb. Is you go to like college for comics, they teach you to draw, and like visual storytelling, they don't like teach you. Well, they teach you a little bit about writing, but writing is hard. It's a whole separate subject. It's worth studying. And anyways, and we didn't really get that much writing training, but honestly, I think a lot of writing is just experience. You just have to keep doing it and failing, and some people can actually improve and break through. Some people can't. But with comics, I do agree. I think old masters and people that have been doing it for a long time, like Chuck Dixon, probably do have all those things figured out from the beginning, mostly. And that comes with experience, right? And for like Fiendish 3, I'm dying to show people what I have, but I can't. That's crazy, but it's going to be a good book.
Yeah,
I'm so excited.
And it's going to be a year of that, a year of you wanting to share and can't.
It's probably, it's going to be insane. But I mean, well, once I can actually get away from all this other work I had to do and draw pages, I'll be a little more sane. But anyways, it's I have this really interesting process where I'm doing like a lot of iterations early on, and I think that's really great. So. I remember with Fiendish 2 when people said 2 was better than 1, but a lot of the dialogue changes were like up until the last minute, and I'm trying to do all that up front with 3, just like iterate, like get really harsh critique. So I hope that'll change things, and I think definitely as you create, the more you go, the more you can see those things crystallize at the start, because you just kind of have an intuition for like, this is how story works, and this is how I can create a good experience for the reader.
Yeah, and and Fiendish 2, it did have good dialogue, and yeah, I don't know. It's funny. It is a little bit better than part 1. Maybe I'm trying to think, but Fiendish 2 is when it gets rolling. Yeah, like Fiendish 2 was really good. It had 2 plots that are both great, cutting back and forth, and then they meet up, and like I love when there's kind of like some good kind of classic storytelling type stuff, good classic structure or whatever.
Thanks. Yeah, I think I want to keep improving though. I'm excited to show you guys 3.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, and it's like you keep getting deeper into
but...
the story, so you're like, oh man, there's more cool stuff you can do or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't with Earthbound. It seems like you have more episodic stories within it, so that's almost a smarter structure. Like I kind of wish I did that, but I have a very very manga approach where I just decided, well, manga is like long form story, so you have to start with one, or you don't know what the fuck's going on. But you're kind of have a smarter idea with Earthbound, where you have arcs and you have self-contained things in the midst. Right?
Yeah.
Is that about
yeah,
right?
You know what it was too, is like it was giving me too much of a headache to try and write something that crazy. So I'm like, I can only do about 1 movie length, which still is like that arc might be like a 10 issue thing, but then I can't go more than that really.
Mm-hmm.
Then it has to kind of start over. Mm-hmm. I have a fun idea for part 3, this is a little bit we were kind of talking about, is like it almost bums me out because I'm like, by the time I get, like, I want to draw Percival too, which is a huge project. So by the time I finish Earthbound and Percival, and then probably the next big one would be Earthbound 3, I'll be like 50 or 60, like I'll just be old. I'm like, I hope I can live long enough to get it all done. But part 3 is going to be cool. It's going to be, it's so far off. I can tell you guys a little bit of it that might be almost like spoilers, but it's going to be that I think WizKid might wake up in the school, but it surrounds a school. So instead of following a tournament, it's a school. It's where the reincarnated warriors are sent to get brainwashed, kind of. So it's a lot of it is like loosely like manga as like a starting point, but then it's kind of its own thing. But so it's kind of like manga school, just like really harsh school. Like if you fail, you get killed somehow or whatever. And their plan is to like try and escape, but it's hard to escape. But eventually they do escape, and they find out that the school is tiny, and that they are tiny in the real world, and that their real bodies, they are voodoo dolls, and their real bodies are being kept somewhere. So they need to find their real bodies and switch back.
Ooh, what a twist!
Mm-hmm. And then they'll have to like fight a cat and stuff, like classic Tom and Jerry shit or whatever, just like fun stuff.
We got an exclusive spoiler for very very far in the future, only for this channel. Thank you, Narwhal.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see this 50 years from now.
yeah.
Right, I'm 87. You got this kid. Oh, that is a ripe old age. I'm glad that you have lasted that long. I don't know if that's a real comment or not. Probably not, but that would be nice. That would be nice.
Yeah, if we actually had an 87-year-old like reader, I'd be actually kind of stoked.
That would be great. Honestly, old people are cool as shit. Like I just don't I don't know what it is. I think the general comics fandom has an age range, so I don't expect people kind of younger than a certain age or older than a certain age, but who knows? Yeah. All are welcome here. I welcome you all.
Yeah.
50-year-old spoiler. Dude, so I wonder with what you're doing with Earthbound, how you say you're going to be working on this like the rest of your life, basically. It seems so rare in American comics to be working on one singular thing for that long, but it's not rare in other industries. It's obviously very common in manga. You'll have shit like One Piece or fucking Berserk and even just almost anything. Stuff like Chainsaw Man which is a relatively short series, is an exception almost. And most series that end early are because they just suck and they're forced to cancel. And European comics are, well, they're different, but also you tend to have creators working on one thing, like a series of installments for years and years on end. And it just feels like that's not really as common here. But in American comics, though, you have long running series, but it's not owned by the creator. Like, besides from like the corporate stuff, right, where the company owns the characters and they just hire you, which is still really weird. That still weirds me out. Sorry, it's just like, I'm coming from an outsider's point of view. That's so strange. Like, a creator doesn't own the character. What? Anyways,
Yeah.
but yeah, I wonder. I think we were talking about how having one creative vision brings out the best in art most of the time, and I think this is really the way to go. I think you just have to be it's not just about having one creative vision. There's a balance between like getting feedback and also putting the art first and having a creative vision and not letting your ego take over, but also there's a certain momentum to creating. I think if you keep that momentum up and focus on one story for a long enough time, it can become something great. And I worry that kind of creating by committee or having this structure where artists are put on a project, they're hired for work, and they have like a short run of like 6 issues or 10 issues, and then they're done. You almost don't get that movement, that momentum to that breakthrough of greatness, whether it's with your skill or with the character. I think creatives need that. You need to be working on one thing for a long time to break through and find its essence. Does that make sense? Is that
Yeah.
true?
Yeah. When you were, this reminds me of when you were starting writing, did you, tell me if you relate to this, but did you find that it was easier to write like existing characters or other people's characters or fan art rather than your own? Like talking like when early, like high school or whatever, early college. Because for me, I'll just tell you like my theory, I guess, is that it's kind of hard to like build the world to where you know the characters and when they can like take over the writing of the story for you. Almost to get to that point is like pretty dang hard, but if you get there, then you can do all sorts of fun stuff. And that's why like people who stick with one story, they'll do like multiple genres. They can do like a bank heist, crime story in one piece or whatever, and it can get nitty gritty. It can get street level, less powers or whatever. They can do anything they want, and that's like the freedom that comes with it. But it's funny, it's like that it's so hard to build that up sometimes at first.
Yeah, I think this whole idea of having, first of all, it's very insidious that everything is so corporatized. Like, even art and creativity is corporatized. Like, making money is good, don't get me wrong, but that's different than everything being corporatized. And I actually think what we have is very anti-merit, because it all boils down to merit, right? And when what we've created, I think, is this sense of this the previous comment that I was highlighting, how in America when a property gets big, the creators tend to sell it off. I don't know if that's a good thing, right? Because it's the creator sells it off, and then as soon as it feels like almost as soon as you have a good idea, it gets sold off. And have you reached that breakthrough? Like, the creative vision is almost being given to a corporation that will water it down and try to make it palatable for as many people as possible. They will Rings of Power it. Basically, they will Witcher Blood Origins it. They'll Game of Thrones it and water it down and take it away from what it originally was. Make it not Song of Ice and Fire, make it not Lord of the Rings, make it not Tolkien, all that kind of stuff. And that's what happens when creativity is corporatized. It's not meritocratic. That's not just like good old fashioned, let's compete capitalism. I have a big problem with that. I think we've robbed we've robbed our culture of a lot of good art and good stories with this whole idea that, it's just all about artists are here to be hired. It's all work for hire, and there is no space really. It's such a struggle. Like obviously we're doing it. It's not like there's no space, but it's so hard. And maybe it's good that it's a challenge, but it's so goddamn hard to have an idea and want to carry it through if you don't have venture capital backing, and if you don't think you fit in a publisher, you want creative control. This shit's hard. You basically have to do crowdfunding. So we don't have like an established system like manga where the whole entire industry is about creator owned projects. It's very strange that that's not how it is over here.
Yeah. Yeah, and 40% Zed has an interesting point. He says in America, multiple artists can take a crack at one character. So it is the opposite in that way. And that can be a good thing because you can have a character gets created, but they're not special. But then someone comes along later, 20 years later, then that character does become special. Like Frank Miller with Daredevil or something. That is interesting. But then he also says, but then those characters can also get ruined later on when they get passed on to a crappy writer. But that is interesting. It's like very different. It's like completely different in some ways than manga. Just almost not comparable in some ways.
Right. It. I don't know, because there are so many good runs in superhero comics. So it's like, of course, that's. I don't want to diminish that. That's when good writers are handed the mantle of a interesting character. They can create something great, and that's on its own. It's an amazing piece, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just. I guess like Image exists, and now crowdfunding exists. It's just. You guys know what I mean. American comics are kind of fucked. Like this whole industry is fucked. It's just all kinds of weird. It's not about comics. That's the fucking problem. It's not about comics anymore. It's about everything but fucking comics.
Yeah. I wonder like how we'll save it. But I don't even know. But yeah, got to get some good books out and get the word out in the books kind of thing and something like that.
Yeah, doing what we're doing now. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to save it, but I think I think just having, I want to see more people that actually care about comics. I don't know what it is. Like, I think all of us here, and especially the creators, we're just like autistically focused on comics. Like something clicked, and it doesn't, like for me, it doesn't matter to me that the regular person on the street kind of views comics as, oh, it's like the thing for kids or whatever, and my family doesn't give a shit. They think I just like draw pictures and I should get like a corporate job in gaming or something, and because otherwise I'm a fucking failure, embarrassment, whatever. And I don't care that Warner or Disney treats comics like IP farms because that's how the larger entertainment complex views comics. I don't fucking care. Comics is a beautiful medium on its own, and it's literature, and I'm gonna fucking prove it. I don't care what anybody thinks. I don't care how society views it. So
yeah.
I think, and I want to see more people that have the same view, and it doesn't have to be me that creates the next big thing. I just want to see it happen.
Yeah. Yeah, my buddy, owns a pretty successful restaurant, and he recently bought a lake house nearby. So I visit him. If he's visiting, I'll come out and enjoy his lake house. Like, it's nice to have a friend who like has a lake house. That's kind of fun. But
That's
so
nice.
he's so successful, and I'll be leaving the lake house, and I'm like, man, he's so much more successful than me. I'm like, but I get to tell stories, so that's something. It's kind of fun.
Oh, that's, yeah. That's that reminds me when I visited RJ. RJ lives in like this beautiful area in the Ozarks, and it's neat. He doesn't have like a lake house, but there are a bunch of like rich people lake houses nearby. It's actually a really, really nice touristy area. And like when I drove out there to like deliver products last time, I was like, oh my god, I want to move here. I mean, it's not gonna fucking happen, but that is strange because like I think we all have friends that are more well off than ourselves, and like I know some people that, you know, big tech. I went to international school, so there are a lot of people working in, also it was an international school in Asia, so a lot of people like working in tech and whatever, and a lot of people are very well off, and that's great. Like basically everybody is more well off than me, but it's strange because I would still, like, I don't want to be fucking broke on the street, but I'd rather just have enough, and as long as I can draw comics, that really that will make me happy. I think a lot of us are like that.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, so this is like, yeah, one thing that we have is, yeah, I think, I think I have, and I bet you can relate too, but it can be fun to go to bed knowing that you get to mull something over as you fall asleep if you're trying to figure something out for your story or your world or whatever. And I like look forward to going to bed with a little extra time to be awake and just think. And I'm like, I know a lot of people dread going to bed because they hate that they're going to sit there and think and can't go to sleep. And I'm like, I have a lifetime of enjoying thinking. So that's like kind of a good benefit of what we do.
Oh man, it's the trying to think of story points as you go to bed is not even a joke though. So what happens to me is that 90% of the time I won't have a breakthrough, but then 10% of the time it'll be like, oh my god, as I'm trying to get to sleep, everything
Yeah.
will click and I have to like just scramble for my phone, and then I'm just awake for like 2 hours, but I'm lying in bed writing notes on my phone and I don't get enough sleep because like everything clicked and I have to write it down right now.
Yeah.
So it's
It's like the meme where the eyes go poof, whatever.
yeah, the whole brain floating in the void meme, that comic. That's great.
Yeah.
That does happen. So, but then like the other half of the time or more, most of the time, it's like you just go to bed and you're just frustrated because like, because like the ideas just aren't clicking. But what I realized is you have to trust yourself, and that's like the hardest thing. I think this is why a lot of artists get really hung up on the creative process. It's you have to trust yourself, because you have to also trust that when the lows are present, you have to know that the highs will come, because it's a roller coaster,
Yeah.
and there's no way around it. I think this is why artists are so fucking emotional, because it's problem solving. That's what it is. That's what art and that's what writing is. It's constant problem solving. So it's either 0 or 100, and because we're very attached to our work, if you don't really understand that, okay, it's a series of problem solving, and you're going to have the lows where none of the problem solving is working, then you have the highs where all the problem solving finally works and you figure things out. So if you don't actually understand that you'll come out of it, you just get depressed all the time, because it is hard work, but you just have to kind of like trust the process.
Yeah. And it's fun because you can get your subconscious going, and then you'll just wake up kind of refreshed, and sometimes you'll have the idea like the next day, but you're like, I put in work the night before, I was thinking about it, and then things will come to you.
Yeah. Sometimes it's like it definitely is like, I feel like I spend a lot of time just thinking about ideas, and just days and weeks on end, and oh my gosh, so many things for Fiendish is literally, it's been years of like, I know this is a problem, I'm just gonna pretend this isn't a problem and keep moving on, and then one day it just clicks and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna pretend like all the time I spent thinking about it is paying, which it is, but it doesn't feel like it at the moment. You have to not give up. You have to not give up until it clicks.
Yeah, and I heard an anecdote that it was from about one of the famous Russian dudes, so like Dostoevsky or something, maybe Dostoevsky, and they said he was writing like as an old man, he was writing one of his masterpieces, and his wife said that he's just lazy. She's like, he doesn't even write, he just sits there on the couch all day, literally does nothing. He just lays on the couch like a lazy bastard potato, and he's like, he's like, I'm writing, woman. That's what I do when I write.
That's so fucking annoying.
Yeah.
There, you definitely have artists like that too. It's like, oh, I'm just like all up on my feelings, and like I swear I have a masterpiece and I'm just not ready to actually do it yet, but I'm lazing about. You have to support me because I swear a masterpiece is coming. Like, that's pretentious as fuck. Pull your weight. But
Yeah.
Maromi, welcome back. Hello. Aviator's telling us to stop sniffing the markers. No. Or the markets. I mean, both. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
He says they're emotional because they're high on inks and paints.
Well, yeah, that's true. Or, inks, paints, and wine. That's my life. Yep. Yeah. The Fifis. Yep. Let's refresh. I think it's about time. I know it's gone up because somebody said they backed, but this is Earthbound Grand Prix Part 2 of 6. We have 2.5 hours left on this. This is closing out for good, not going into in demand. So if this looks good to you, if you want this book, and if you want to help Narwhal get to 4K, which is his goal, then definitely back this right now. Back it now. You only have 2.5 hours left on this. All right, let's refresh and see where we are right now.
Oh
yeah, past 3,500. Wait, I have to play celebration. No cat yet. Cat is at 4,000, but we get the celebration. Yay.
Hey. Yeah, striking distance. Now it's almost 3,600. Then there's only 400. Will we make it?
Yeah. That's over 500 tonight because it started at 2,000 something. So that's awesome. Thank you guys. It's all thanks to you.
The Rini Rise. Thank you.
I guess, what were you talking about? I guess people like us ranting about just making comics and yelling about the creative process. Cool. Let's do this more.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Blockheads, he says, Narwhal, you have any deal on your entire collection of books? I did one of those last summer, and it was kind of fun because it ends up being a really heavy package. I'm like, oh, nice, this is like my life's work or whatever. But now some of them are out of print, so I'll try and do something like that in the next year or so. But you can go to my eBay store and get almost everything. A few things are out of print, but
cool. Yeah, that must be a really good feeling to have all your work on about. I mean, you have so many more books than I do, and even I packaged.
Yeah.
It just was Swedish. I'm like, oh, I have 3 books. I'm so happy.
Yeah. Well, you started doing what I started doing too, which I think is a really good idea, is have like 2 fronts. Have one that you're drawing, and then have one that you're writing but hiring someone else to draw. And then that doubles your output, and it's still fun, quality stuff. You get to do all that. Yeah. So I think you should definitely keep doing that. And that's something I do too. That's how you get a few more books out there.
Yeah, I've enjoyed that very much, and of course, you guys all know I'm going to be doing more 0.5 chapters for Fiendish, but it's it definitely, especially because I'm not a particularly fast artist. I mean, I'm decent, but like Narwhal is way faster. Your style just aids to it, and I want Fiendish to be like painfully detailed and all fantasy. I want to make 3 even more detailed than 2 and 1. I'm gonna show you detail. Anyways, so it's gonna take some time, but having the 0.5 books and maybe some more projects, I like that it helps my output, but also it helps me really view. Not that I don't view writing seriously, but it's a whole like different kind of pressure when you know your work rests on the writing. Did you feel that when you started just being?
Yeah, it was. There's been a few different learning curves of experiencing it from different like points of view that I have definitely appreciated. And one is the first time you're working with a writer. I had a little learning curve with it for sure, and I was nervous. But I had a few. Early on, I had a few that did not want to work with me because I was too anal, kind of, so they backed out. And then I was adjusting as I was going. I was like, okay, I need to make, how do I fix this? I need to make my script more like exactly what I need so that I can just give it to the artist and then they will give me what I want rather than me. And then you have to let go a little bit, all this kind of stuff, And I've been getting better at that. And finding the right collaborators too, because it'll just click and you'll be like, oh, this is the one. Like working with Monica has been great, and working with Jared has been great. 2 of my biggest collaborators there. But
yeah, Monica is such a good artist. I'm like, ooh, maybe I want to hire her for some work someday. But speaking of collaborators, hi Michael
Rushbrook.
Michael is my artist on 2.5, and he was great to work with. Honestly, with all the craziness I've had to deal with, I mean, again, everything is ups and downs. The creative process is ups and downs. Starting your business is ups and downs, and I feel like I've gone through like the whole ringer of it. Everybody knows what a pain in the ass printing Fiendish one was for me. But it's like, I was just telling the blog that I paid all my bad luck debt at the time because I had really good luck with working with Michael and a bunch of other collaborators. Honestly, I have an amazing team, and being surrounded by a good team, not like, ooh, support network or some shit. Like, no, a good team, people that'll give you feedback, just other creators that'll look at your work and bounce ideas that you can bounce ideas off of, and that, you know, hopefully you'll look at their work as well. Just under people that understand the craft, and it's specific, and it varies from person to person because you have to kind of click. It's complicated, but my point is with 2.5, that was the first time I was exclusively writing. I did the layouts as well, but that's just how I write. Michael was great to work with, and honestly, it was smooth as butter, and I totally lucked out because this stuff was hard. I would love to work with him again, and hopefully we get to collaborate on more stuff. So, I'll see everybody up and down. Everybody go follow Michael on Twitter. Mr. Sketches with 5. 3.141. Yeah, just a whole pi equation. I will be doing a 1.5. I'm sorry, but I have a really story idea. I really want to do it. It's gonna.
You should.
I want to. So I'm worried that people are gonna be like, okay, so the main story is just gonna get more and more magical and more like demon-y, but all these like 0.5 chapters kind of aren't at first. So I'm worried that people kind of have this like Game of Thrones effect. Will they forget that magic is a thing? It's like, oh, it's just like a normal, I don't know, ancient medieval world now.
Yeah. No, that's kind of cool though. But then you got to do a 1.75 after that.
Yay!
And then a 1.82.
No, I'm determined to only do 0.5. Okay. So 2.5 has been planned for a very long time. It was originally going to be part of a main book, but then I realized I was intending to start basically chapter 3 with a huge flashback because I wanted to reveal some things about Casimir's backstory. And then I realized, why don't I have this as a Gaiden story? And manga readers will know what Gaiden is. It's kind of a side story. It can be a backstory, or it can even be a story in the world that has nothing to do with the characters. It's just bonus material. But usually it matters for the story. It's not like discardable, you know what I mean? Anyways, so that's what I structured 2.5 as, and then I've cut out a bunch of other stuff when I realized, oh, like all these other side quests, I can make these 0.5 chapters. So that's what's happening. But I have a great idea for 1.5, and what I realized is my 0.5 chapters, they're not necessary for understanding the main plot, but it will really help because I'm establishing the world building and certain things in the 0.5 chapters and scattering like a little, some little things that'll just help you make things make sense. So yeah, I will be doing a 1.5. I have a story for it already. It's going to be I said it was a heist thing, but it's not. But you'll see. You guys will love it. It's going to happen. Yay.
Cool. Yeah. And it'll be like 20 pages or 25 or 30 or something, or?
Yeah, the 0.5 chapters, I'm keeping them to 25 to 30 pages. These main books are gigantic.
Yeah,
25
nice.
to 30 for the 0.5 chapters. Yep. Are you planning on doing anything like that for Earthbound, or you're going to be the artist for the whole thing?
I did do for the Narwhal Shorts Compendium. There's a couple short stories that I wasn't the artist on that are in the Earthbound universe, and people liked those. They got a good response, but they're borderline non-canon because I wrote them when I was still figuring out some of the laws of the Grand Prix. So they fit, but it bugs me, because there's little ways where where I would do it differently if I wrote it today or whatever. So I'm kind of leaving them non-canon just in the short story for now. But yeah. But I do want to do more of that, I think. And the main thing, I have one, because between Earthbound and Grand Prix, it's a 4-year time skip. and it's separate stories, but they're the same characters, and you just kind of pick up with them 4 years later. But I have a lot of stories written of what happens in those 4 years, and I want to do that eventually too. But that's another, it's quite a few comics actually that are written for that, but got to get to them. I'll be 70 by the time I get to those.
Yeah, someone, Elon Musk, hurry up and invent immortality or telomere shortening or whatever the fuck, telomere lengthening, what the fuck ever that is. I don't know. I'm not a biologist. I just hear Brett Weinstein talking about this shit. I'm like, oh, telomeres have to do with aging. Just give me like a bionic arm and eye and like everything else can go, so I can keep drawing comics and I'll be happy.
Yeah.
I'll be like 200 years old. Just let me finish my next comic.
Yeah, me too.
That's how artists function, guys. You understand? We're crazy. We're very crazy. Lengthening. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not...
Telomere lengthening.
Yeah, telomere. Like telomere is like the cell thing that, I don't know, has to do with aging, and Weinstein was studying mice or something. I don't know. Telomere regeneration. Good luck with that. That's probably never going to happen. But it is fascinating science. So at least to like a dummy like me when I'm listening to actual biologists talk about it. So I think it's fun to listen to. Futurama will just have heads in jars. That's fine as long as I get to draw. Hey, Neuralink's a thing. I mean, I find it kind of terrifying, but
yeah,
thing, it works.
Yeah, that's one where I'm like, what if you could plug into a computer and like you could do it way faster or something? But then I'm like,
yeah,
I'm so scared to have something plug into my brain. I would definitely.
Same here. It's so crazy. It's like it gives me peace of mind to know that, okay, in 10 years time, if I get hit by like a truck and get paralyzed, well, that exists. But I don't think I would otherwise willingly put some implantation into, like, I'm too afraid of being spied on or controlled. I mean,
yeah.
I grew up on Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah. And speaking of revelation, I think that's one of the big things to avoid is merging with the machines or whatever.
Yeah, I haven't. I mean, I've heard about people. I haven't read the Bible, but with the mark and whatever, people talk about that. Yeah, how about?
Yeah. You know, it was
everybody.
There's a crazy one that still sticks with me, and it's a little bit like the mark kind of thing, but it's the Canadian truckers and how Canada shut down their credit cards, so they kind of starved and had to go home. And I was like, man, that's crazy. That's like really a bummer, and you definitely want to be able to avoid that. But yeah,
it's nuts. I don't know. Again, I think we're at this stage where we don't. At least I don't know, like what's gonna. I think we kind of know what's gonna come next. It's gonna be chaos, and the world's gonna implode in a few months. But what I mean is, technology-wise, it's kind of like maybe history goes through, or just human progression goes through these cycles of, hey, all the shit that's happening now, we were warned and we're still doing it anyway, so we're in the fallout stage of all the fuckery falling out, and then it's whatchamacallit? Oh, the night is darkest before the dawn. Okay, I think kind of intuitively, maybe I'm just a pessimist recently. No, I'm not. That's kind of where we are now. And
yeah,
it's kind of like the internet age brought on a whole lot of variables that we're just not prepared for, didn't it? Just like how radio and telephones and television brought on a different paradigm that we had to adjust to. I think the internet was a huge leap, and it's so exponential. We're going to have to go through a giant implosion probably. And I don't know, fucking like mini Butlerian jihad or something. Probably not that bad, hopefully. But I do think we haven't quite figured out how to function with the internet as part of the human psyche.
Yeah,
that's what we're dealing with
that. It's still like kind of like new sort of, but like even one thing I noticed people saying, it's like, where will we be in the future? But a lot of people now, there's a line people will say like, well, it's just the internet, get used to it, as far as like the internet being shitty or whatever. And I sometimes when I hear that, I'm like, No, we can have expectations for being better on the internet or whatever. I think that's a possible bright future is where the culture of politeness kind of reforms around the internet even. And of the thing is that would have to be um, by our own accord, you know. You can't like make laws that just defeats the purpose, but it
Right,
has to be
exactly.
yeah.
I agree basically entirely. Um, there has to be an in between. I think just the idea that well, once people organically realize that well, you're on the internet, it's not. And I think at this point, people are realizing that there's more of a sense of it's not entirely anonymous. That there are real people behind who you're talking to, and this affects reality. It's not like I have older friends that are like they don't understand why I'm hung up about stuff that happens online, and they're like it's not real life. I'm like, but it is, and that's not just my feelings. This is where
Yeah.
everything happens. This is where my business is conducted. This is where my friends are. Like the internet is becoming it is reality for increasingly so, and that's not going to change. So but it's almost like we haven't really learned to balance that. But at the same time, censorship and just government control and trying to whitewash the internet and make it safe, that's not good either. So finding that in between is kind of what we're going to figure out, on top of a lot of other like bullshit that is going to cause the world to implode this year. Yay.
Yep.
It's not real, but stupid people manifest it. It is real. It's an extension of our reality and our psychology and of everything that we do in the real world, right? I think if you're talking about just a social life, or for a lot of people it doesn't have to be real, but for me at least, this is my business and this is also a social network, and that sure you can detach from it fairly easily, but you can also detach from that in real life. Like you can, if you hate your job and everybody's an asshole, you can leave your job. And the same with the internet. But there's also consequences. People can follow you. Like the damage that people can do to your business on the internet is real. It's just as bad as damages people can do in real life. So it does cross over. Yeah, I think it has to be sort of a, and there's always going to be like crazy shit on the internet, but I like that. Like I don't want the internet to become censored or controlled by any government. I think it has to be, well, people have a general understanding of normal, just like etiquette, like treat people like you would face to face, basically. Like
Yeah.
if would you say that to someone's face? Well, then don't fucking say it.
Yeah, and that's possible that the future would be a little bit more like that. Like it's like this is the optimistic Star Trek future. And yeah, I wonder about like technology too, because it always is like they are constantly blowing our minds these days, but then they're like, but you know, we're reaching the end of that, they won't continue, or that's I'm like, man, if we hit teleportation, that's gonna like change everything, kind of, you know.
Oh,
That's like
that's
even
not fucking terrifying.
yeah.
Because is it really you? Because in Star Trek, it's established it's not really you anymore. Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
That's like almost too cold and utilitarian. Where okay, the atoms recombine and the neurons relink, but it's not really the same person. Like,
Well,
what the
that's the
fuck?
thing.
No.
They would have to pretty much prove like the soul at the same time. And if they have teleportation and the soul and they say it's different atoms, but it's the same soul, same thoughts, same memories, it just moves into a new body that's the exact same, then I'd be like, okay, I'll do it. But if they're like, no, it's a different soul too, or there is no soul, it's just totally different, but same memories, then I'd be like, no.
Yeah, like I think that just same thoughts and same memories, that's not enough, because that's
Yeah.
data. Like there's something more. Like just personally, like my personal belief about
Yeah.
it. So whatever you want to call it, it's not just data. Like I think whatever data is that we are in this life, that's this life. Not to get too into it, but consciousness is something we don't understand, and that is the scientific breakthrough I want to see. Just
Yeah.
this whole idea about, well, this isn't base reality, and what about simulation theory, and what is the nature of consciousness? I want to know more about that. And that's why I like listening to woo-woo shit about like, oh, maybe like this is a projection, and like Joe Rogan and stuff. I'm just curious. I think that's the next breakthrough, and I don't know if it's going to happen, if it ever can happen. But wouldn't that be wild? I feel like what else is there to understand, because we're almost on the brink. In some aspects, we understand the rules of physics, but then we've pushed past the understanding of the rules of physics to the point where, well, when it gets to quantum physics, those rules don't work anymore.
Yeah.
It's almost like you see through the code of the simulation. So what is really happening here? I don't know.
Yeah. Reed Topman says, Dale Earnhardt died because he hit the wall at 200 miles per hour. You think you can survive teleportation? Yeah. He evaporated. He appeared somewhere else. In a different body, per se.
That stuff's terrifying, though. I hear stories of people that are that have mental breaks, and they think they can, survive ramming and driving their car into a wall and shit.
Oh, yeah,
that stuff's
crazy.
Scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't do that, please. Is Reading talking about the machine elves and tripping balls on DMT? No. Talking about other stuff. Like base reality. And
Simply Green says NASCAR driver in another world isekai. Dale Earnhardt like woke up in another world.
Maybe Dale Earnhardt teleported Jupiter the Guardian from Alpha Flight. We're getting wild over here.
That would
Thank you for posting a link, Bart Rogers.
In every celebrity death that bums you out, they're just an isekai. Like Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter crash with his daughter. They're just in an isekai now.
So sad.
Yeah.
Well, that would be a strange way to cope. I mean, if you believe in the idea that there are infinite timelines, but you don't know. I want to know.
Yeah.
And there's probably no way of knowing. That's the thing, though. Those next breakthroughs that I was mentioning that I'm curious about, there's probably no way of knowing until we're on a level of existence where it's impossible to understand. Like, how could a creature that, for example, exists in 2 dimensions understand our dimension, right? It's probably the same kind of thing. Where are the fans? What are you talking about? Where are the fans? The fans are here. Let's see. Should we refresh again?
Yes. Let's risk the life of an angel.
It's almost 1. Oh no.
Yeah, we can kind of start wrapping up a little bit. We'll see. Let's refresh and see where it's at, I guess. Let's see.
Sure. Yeah. Well, we did hit 3,500, which is awesome, and I appreciate all of you for that. I trust that in the next 2 hours, because I do have to go to sleep eventually. But before this closes at 3 a.m. Eastern and midnight Pacific time, which is in 2 hours, almost exactly from now, that you're probably going to get it to 4,000, right? That's what's going to happen. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah. Continue
to
back. I'll post on Twitter, and I'll just hope for the Twitter people.
Yeah, back it once, back it twice, back it 5 times, whatever it takes. You should post more original art. Just post a piece of original art and price it at like $2,000.
Yeah.
Then it'll be like, I bet it would sell, honestly, or just enough to get to like 4,000. But
yeah,
honestly,
maybe something for 4,000. A 2-piece combo for $400. Would someone buy that? Then it would be.
Yeah, you never know. Barb Rogers says in demand. No in demand. This is it. This is it, guys. This is the actual closeout. So if you want to back this book, you must get it now. Oh, hold on. We haven't even. Hold on. Let's actually create some tension here. I'm not going to refresh first. Do you have any campaign exclusive items that won't be available later?
No. Just that these are the floppies. So eventually it's going to be just trades. So now is the chance to get kind of like, and they will, I don't know, like if they'll be out of print they kind of just naturally will go out of print, I think, because eventually it's going to be the trades that are for sale. So I do recommend collecting Grand Prix in the 6 floppy format, so you can get 1 and 2. And when I say floppy, these are double issues. I think this issue is like 56 pages, so it's like it's a thick floppy, and it's very, very sturdy, not floppy at all.
You said 56 pages?
Yeah. Yep.
That's not a floppy.
I know. Well, I could perfect bind it, but I kind of want it to be floppy because it's just supposed to be.
Oh my God, you're like Jake. Do you like floppy books?
Well,
Oh,
I like them okay. But perfect bound is what comes next. That's going to be combining 1, 2, and 3. I want that to be perfect.
Okay, that was gonna be so thick. Yeah, that is one thick floppy book. I don't know. It kind of it worries me having to do staple bound or floppy bound books after a certain page count, because it's like, I mean, I'm sure you know what I mean, where the further in you get, the more the trim gets closer to like the art. That's really annoying to deal with. So I like to keep it at like 30 pages, but I'm sure you plan for that as well. So I don't think I've seen, I guess a lot of magazines are floppy, like 50, 60 page books. So it is doable. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. The max the printer will say is like 64, which is obviously like max. So
yeah, that's still a lot, but
yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah, that does make sense. Floppies have a place. Yes, they do. What is? Oh no! Almost not gonna my whole standy thing. Ignore me.
a Rushbrook says contribution 86. Thanks, Michael. You
Awesome.
I think Michael might have backed the Fund My Comic and the Indiegogo. He's very generous, if that's true. But thank you, sir.
That's awesome. I gotta check if I backed. I'm gonna have to. I will end the stream in short notice, and then I'll have to check if I back, because I better have actually backed this goddamn book that I'm promoting, and also I want this book. So anyhow, all right, let's refresh, because it is 1 a.m. over here, and there are exactly 2 hours left on Earthbound, a Grand Prix, Part 206. Let's go. Da, 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 da. Up another 100! It's been up 100 every time. That's awesome. Thank you all.
Thanks,
You're
everyone.
great. Celebration clip. Let's go.
Hey, 36. Woo!
Yeah. Y'all are the best. Thank you.
Chris McWilliams is here. Chet says, I will end this.
You will end this? Oh,
yeah.
sir.
And they're saying Ethan did a 76-page floppy, but it had really thin paper. I do remember that too. So that's a thing.
Yeah. I think industry standards is 60, even for Fiendish 2.5. I always go like 80 pound or higher. So it's I guess if you do that many pages, you would have to do thin paper. But yeah. Buy the real thing from Bar Rogers. Thank you for the links. That is true. I don't know what that is true is referring to, but I suppose it is true. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. Thanks for doing this, Rini.
100. Yay! Yeah. I'm glad we got you a little bit of a boost. We will shame Phil and Jake tomorrow for not being here for their bestest of friends. I'll be very sad and pitiful, and I'll yell at them for letting you down. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun. I'll shame them duly. But
yeah, we'll shame them together.
Glad we did this.
yeah. It's fun.
I'll happily do most of the shaming, but I'm glad.
You should. We'll do good cop, bad cop on them. It'll really get them good. Because I'll be the one.
Before Creative Blog, no, we won't do that. Just kidding. Let's actually. I know this is it's pretty straightforward, but let's look at the perks real quick, because we haven't done that. I spent so much time yapping, we haven't even looked at the perks. I apologize. I talk way too much. You have cover A and cover B. Pretty straightforward. How many covers are on this campaign? 3?
Just 2, yeah. So there's just cover A, cover B. Then there's cover A and cover B of the first one, and so there's different combos of that. So you can get 1 and 2. Yeah, like if you want to get 1 and 2, you can get the cover A series or the cover B series.
Okay, cool.
The cover A series is the like formatted one where it's like the Grand Prix font with the characters looking through it, and then the cover Bs are just more free for all, just whatever happens to look good.
Yeah, awesome. Well, you have the I do like that. You have the let me scroll down to the actual title. It's just the title font. You have the this one. This is cover A with the characters inside the letters, like you said, and this one has that's really nice, by the way. The whole ring, like the thin golden curve inside the title, and these are the title B or the cover B is for all the campaigns. That's why, because I mean, at least I've noticed with and series that have kind of serialized, like because everybody has variant covers, but if you have variants that follow the same look for every campaign, people will collect their favorites. And like I do that, I'll collect like my favorites of this series of variants. So that's cool that you're doing that.
Oh yeah. I think I've noticed that I've got some feedback that people. So I'm going to definitely continue with that through the font thing for sure. It'll be 6 of those. So I need 12 characters to kind of get featured in close up for the 6 covers.
Yeah, you can get creative with it too, like have something weird in one of them. Just to kind of throw people off. That'll be fun.
Yeah. One thing with Earthbound too is it can randomly be these side characters come up, and then I try and make them kind of memorable and fun in some way. And in this issue, there's the caterer, because it's kind of a giant feast in the longhouse, and they have a international caterer and or intergalactic caterer guy, and he's like a big slime ball, like a literal slime ball, and he's kind of cool. I'm like, oh, this guy's cool. Like I want more stories of him, but he's just one guy. I might get to like kill him later or something. We'll see.
Oh no! Well, it happens. You have to kill characters. It's just how it goes. How it goes. Well, yeah, lovely. I like the text covers. These are my favorite.
Oh, thanks.
Wow. All right. Well, shall I risk it one more time before we start?
I can't remember if it gone up. Yeah, we can risk it, I think.
Yeah, you think? All right, it's like information. Can we go? Will we not kill an angel?
We killed an angel. Oh, we didn't kill an angel.
Oh, yes! Thank you guys. That's awesome. That was so fast.
It went up 100 again. It went up 150.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I was thinking like, oh, it's probably gonna go up $10. Thank you guys. That's awesome. Now I don't want to end the stream. I want to just keep going. It's gonna be every time.
Yeah. It's really in striking distance to 4,000. That's crazy.
I know it is. Oh my gosh. You know what? Let's go a little while longer. I'm gonna keep on like bloviating and bullshitting. I can do that forever. I'm not tired anyways. I'm like I'm not thoroughly drunk. I'm wildly drunk. Yeah, I'm gonna run my mouth. I can talk about Fiendish and then circle back to Earthbound, and then let's see if we get you to 4,000. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go a little longer because it's going close.
Yay!
That's funny.
Yeah,
TC
let's go.
Overtime. Oh, overtime, that like triggers me, but in a good way, about a good thing. I got to tell you guys real fast. Quick update on my sports bet for the Dallas Mavericks. Remember, I think I told you I bet them to win the championship, and I got 20-1 odds because I bet way back in the fall, and they made the playoffs. So I'm like, oh my God, I might have a chance. And then so they're playing the Clippers, and they lost the first game, and I was devastated, and I was inconsolable. But then game 2 came around. I watched that, and it looked like they were going to lose. I was couldn't handle it. But then they won, and I was elated, over the moon, ecstatic. I've been riding a high ever since. And they play game 3 on Friday, and so that'll be their big one because they're tied right now. And they do a best of 7 series, so the first of 4 wins moves on. But if they beat the Clippers, that's a huge step. Then they would have to beat like a couple other good teams. So it is honestly still a far journey. But I'm like, man, it's crazy that it's realistic that at 20, or not realistic, but even that it's still possible this late in the game that my bet is still alive. My 20-1 odd bet is still going. So I'm stoked.
I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
I don't know what you just said, but I'm happy for you. I'm
Yeah.
happy that you're happy.
Yeah. If they win, I'll win $3,500. I split it with a buddy because we split the bet, so he'll win that too. So I mean, we'll win 7,000, but we'll split it. We'll each get 3,500.
Hell yeah, yeah! I remember you were explaining that. I mean, I didn't even know that's how betting worked. That you could actually get back that much money, but cool.
Yeah, yeah. They
Good
say
luck.
sports betting is like making a comeback in America. I guess it got legalized and everyone's doing it, and on the one hand, people are like, oh, it's like smoking cigarettes, or it's kind of a negative thing, shows a sign of societal degradation. But for this one, for some reason, it doesn't bother me. I'm like, yeah, sports betting. Let's all do it. Let's all just start betting on sports. This is fun.
That's because you're about to win money. That's why you think it's not a problem. That's actually what's happening.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess like gambling and it is a vice in my opinion. But honestly, it's not physically debilitating. Like fucking people are adults, so it's really up to the individual. Like manage it yourself. I'm not gonna tell people what to do. Yeah, have fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go and have
you
fun. That
hear
sounds like fun.
horror stories, but I think they're kind of rare. But who knows? But
Yeah, it's when people get out of control. But it's like, well, if you don't have, some people are just addictive. Well, if people get addicted, they don't have self-control, then it honestly doesn't matter what it is. It's too much of anything is bad. Let's put it that way.
yeah. Simply Green says, next minute, Narwhal's streaming from his cardboard box. I've lost everything.
No! That's not going to happen. We're not going to let that happen because we're going to get this campaign to 4,000 and keep Narwhal out of the cardboard box. That's not going to... We're going to make sure that he keeps his roof over his head, his beautiful house.
Oh, speaking of... Yeah. And yeah, my house is fun. Like, whatever, it's kind of the same, but I do enjoy that I have a house. I prefer this to being homeless.
Yes, it is much nicer than being homeless. Have you done any more renovations recently?
No, it's still kind of, because didn't do too much over the winter. But the best thing is the porthole, which I think I might have just posted that one picture, really. But show you guys I have a porthole in my house. So stoked on that.
That's awesome.
And I have a cool dining room table now. It's like a one piece of giant wood. I forget what kind of wood it is. Yeah, if I know, I'll tell you. But it's like a big slab, a single slab, like a bar just straight across. It's a very thin table that goes back into the room, so there's lots of walking space around it. It's really high too. It's like bar height, so you need bar chairs, kind of.
Oh, that does sound nice. Yeah, I gotta show him pictures of that. That's funny because I haven't been doing house renovations I'm mostly done, but I'm all into this stuff, okay? I've been fighting the urge to let me buy another property. You can't afford it, bitch. Don't. But interior decoration is so much fun. I bought a bench to use as my living room table. So I have this whole setup where it's like a bench, but it's really narrow and thin. And I built a dining room table, which is not hard. I just took some fucking butcher board that was left over from my kitchen renovation and just you stain it, sand it down, attach some legs. It's not fucking hard to build a fucking table, but it looks great. So I've been enjoying that. I'm almost done. Finally.
Nice.
After 3 years of fucking just so much money and so much pain. It's incredible.
Is that something? Can you post pictures of that on Twitter, or you keep most of that private? Or I want to see some.
I keep it private. Yeah. I'll post my workroom, but I can show you guys. I'll post it in the block.
Oh yeah. I want to see the dining room table. Yeah, I get curious with houses, like the heat map of where you spend your time and where people spend their time. Is because if you make a
Right here.
cool, yeah, it's like that's definitely like that's the data, and so you're like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
like where and how do you make that cool? And like this room, I'm definitely enjoying. Right by the window downstairs, I enjoy a lot because the light's so good, but it can also get too bright. But
Yeah, it's weird. It's so I have my studio in like a small room that's painted all black and the curtains are black and I'm just like I like the sensory almost like it's almost sensory deprivation. It's great. It helps me work. But like the rest of the house honestly is just there because so I feel like I have space to go even though I spend most of the time here, like it psychologically helps. Like, okay, when I go to sleep for like the 4 hours that I do sleep, it's a really pleasant, nice environment where I can breathe. And I'm not just like, for years, I had like one room because I was living with roommates, or it was like I was just poor as shit. So it was I had my drawing table and computer, and then it's in the same room as my bed because I had one room. So it's like, oh, and I remember during COVID, it was I was renting like one room from a friend, and it was I would be in one room for the whole time, like the
yeah,
whole day, all the time, and it was like, I mean, it was weird. I don't mind as much as most people would because I think all artists are like we're all kind of a lot more introverted than the baseline, but like it is still irritating just because I want to have somewhere else where I'm working. Like I have an actual proper studio and it's so nice. And like if I do ever want to actually like sit down and read a comic, I have a nice little reading nook. And if I want to like eat, I have a proper dining table. Imagine that. Fucking amazing. Jesus.
yeah, yeah. I agree. It's like
Pleasant.
it's the fact that knowing that there's a space, because if you're all in one space, there's no escape, nothing to like get out. And I was like that too. I'd
Mhm.
work and sleep in the same room. That's one of my favorite things now is that my office is separate from my bedroom. I'm like I'm leveling up in life. I'm stoked.
Yeah, I had a friend said that what is you level up in life when you have your bed and your work area isn't in the same room, and then when your clothes hangers aren't plastic anymore, like you have like nice
Yeah,
clothes hangers. I'm like, you know what? That was some like deep wisdom. I was
yeah,
like, that's actually true. I feel like I made it. I have like nice wooden clothes hangers.
yeah,
Completely
yeah.
absurd, but it's true.
Your house. It reminds me too of speaking of, or it's a Futurama episode where Fry gets an apartment and it's like for normally for robots, so it's just a closet. It's very tiny, and he lives in there for a while, and he can barely handle it. And Bender's like, "Well, why don't you put it in the closet then?" And he opens the closet. They're in a closet-sized space, but apparently this apartment has a closet, and it opens up, and that's a regular apartment, and the robots just like living in the closet. And that's like you in your black room.
It is though. It is. It's a problem. I don't know. I think I just never grew up. Like, do you guys have this? I remember being a kid and I like tiny little spaces. Like, if this was probably like dangerous as shit. But so my parents, I don't know if I can describe this accurately, but my parents, we had a balcony. We lived in an apartment when I was growing up in Taiwan, and we had a balcony that had an overhang. So like the balcony, imagine like a box. And then there's balcony railing, right? And what a lot of people would do was they would cover their balcony, but they would cover the balcony with like an awning and a whole like window area. So the whole thing was covered with like windows and like awning for rain. But then under the windows would jut out a little bit. And then underneath the windows, we had a storage area. So imagine you're viewing the balcony from the side. So floor of the balcony jutting out from the building, and this is the railing, and then the windows would kind of go out and then go up, and the windows would be here. That makes I don't know. I'm not describing this well, but anyways, there's a storage area that was hanging off of the balcony, like it was built onto this like a whole area, and I remember there was if you looked at the balcony from the street, we were only on like the second floor, but you could look up and see like these metal rods holding up this storage area under this extension to the balcony, and I like to climb inside that overhang. And just like I like being able to look down at the street, and I was just like hanging over the street as like a 10-year-old, and I was little and I could fit in it, and it was like baking hot, and I'm like, oh, this is so cozy, and I'm hanging over a street and there's nothing but air underneath. And it was anyways.
That's very Taiwan.
I like small
story.
Is it? I feel
yeah,
like
well, I don't know, like the hanging, like that sounds like crazy geometry, but it sounds awesome.
I want to draw it, but I'm too lazy to open Photoshop right now. Like that. I mean, I guess that shit was kind of crazy. I don't know. We have so little space, so everything was everybody lived in apartments and little tiny boxes, you know. So
yeah, but I can relate to if you get the nice cozy. I don't know if somebody in the chat they're talking about feng shui. I don't know if it has any concepts about that because a too small space is like claustrophobic and it's terrible. But there's a point where a small space is cozy and it's awesome and you love it and you like tuck right in there. The nook, they'll say the nook too. The breakfast nook, whatever.
I don't tend to get claustrophobic, even though I probably should in some situations. Yeah, let's see if I can draw this balcony situation real quick. Like, absolutely. Nobody cares about my stupid balcony thing, but this is very common in Taiwan, actually.
And now, when you're saying you're in the storage unit, but and you could see out of it, because it would be a lot more claustrophobic if you can't see out of it. But you could see to the street, like it had an opening. So I guess
there you go. It looks like that. So
okay.
So this area in the bottom, like this.
Oh yeah, so that's you, like that. You know what this drawing looks like? This drawing looks like, you might have seen the YouTube video, but these kidnappers kidnapped this girl and buried her in the underground, and then they gave her a little breathing apparatus, but they didn't make the hole big enough, so it was like the worst way to go because she could breathe, but she couldn't breathe fast enough to cycle the air fast enough, and she suffocated. But that looks like you in their contraption.
I was laughing because I thought you were talking about a different story. That is a very sad story. That's horrible. Yeah. No. So so this is the whole awning area that's built on the bottom part. That's the actual balcony. And see this vertical dash? There's like a storage box underneath the balcony. Anyways, so I had to explain myself.
Yeah.
Explain. So I made sense. It would sound as crazy.
Well, I'm glad to get a visual. It's still, I feel like, I don't know if there's that kind of stuff in America. I don't know. It's Taiwanese.
Yeah, here's a story. Oh yeah, that honestly is a horrible story. I remember that. Look who's joining us! I'm glad we extended this.
Hey,
hello.
Phil, what's up, man?
Finally, about time. You were Shane. Well, it's been like 2 hours since you were Shane, but I'm glad you're here. What's up, Phil?
What's up?
Good evening.
I'm just getting over being sick, so my ears are like, sounds like I'm hearing through cotton. So
you're
quieter,
sick.
which is great for being on a stream with Irene.
Yeah, that actually works out well.
It is. But yeah, I was packing books.
Natural sound dampening.
Yeah, it's natural. What's up, TC? Shaming me in the chat. Yeah, I've been packing books, so getting more stuff out tomorrow.
Fillero says the ringing is holy. If you have your ears ringing, that's holy.
No, it's not. They're not ringing.
I don't think that's how it works.
It's as if just the volume of the world has been turned down a little bit. I may never get it back. I don't know.
You'll get it back. Yeah. You're just congested. What is it? Do you have just a cold, or like you got the Rona?
Yeah, I don't know, but well, my brother got it from the convention he was at last weekend, the Exotica convention.
Oh,
I only
yeah.
went one day, so I probably got it from him. But yeah, it's just like a cold or whatever.
That's right. Blame your brother.
Yeah, we look a
That's
lot
how
of
feelings work.
doorknobs, so our immune systems are pretty good. So it should be knocked out in the next couple of days.
Yeah, I do recall you guys were doing that a lot in Tampa.
Yeah.
It's kind of your thing. That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't believe it. They would just go around licking all like thresholds, doorknobs, everything.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. I just had a pretty bad cold, and so I want to be like, yep, there's something going around. But you're across the country.
Dude,
like,
no. My brother has friends in Mexico that are sick right now. Admiral Wackass has a really bad sickness like this week, this whole like the front of the week, people are sick. It's weird.
Yeah.
Really?
So it makes me think maybe germ theory isn't real, and it's more of a spiritual thing that's spreading across the globe.
Well, it makes me think it's simulation theory, and a big part of the mainframe has a virus.
Oh, maybe that's it.
Wait, what if, because I don't know anyone who's sick, but now that you've mentioned it, what if you pass along the virus just by being here, and now we're all going to get colds?
Yeah.
Oh no, you
That'd
made
be
us
crazy.
aware of the contagion. That would be nuts. So if I get sick in the next week, it'll be Phil's fault.
That would
There
be
you go.
wild. I like it.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's a simulation, everybody. Well, I'm glad you're on the mend. I'm glad you can join us.
Yeah, I got tomorrow we're unloading for C2E2 and loading up, so we're bringing a bunch of games in the morning over there. Tomorrow's unloading day. I guess today you could have loaded in as well. And then we got all of like the books that we're bringing packed up as well earlier today, so it should be good. It's gonna be good. Oh, and here's my dog. I think he's sleeping.
Oh, look at doggy.
Hey, nice.
Doggy, hello. So cute.
He's
Aw, cute doggy. He's adorable.
I saw Camel was on earlier.
Yeah, you didn't just miss him, but he was on earlier, yes. It's a rare Camel appearance on stream.
Yeah, because he's getting shit done, getting shit packed up.
It's good.
Mm-hmm. Actually getting work done. Yeah, it was cool. I'm glad we have all our friends supporting Earthbound today. I'm glad.
Yeah, where's Jake? Jake.
Being a lazy
breakfast.
Brit and sleeping.
Yeah.
I mean, knowing him, he probably gets up at like 11 his time, so he's definitely asleep. Hold on, let me address this. 6 a.m. Yeah, he's not awake at all. Elijah Brown, Arena Bar finished 2 weeks ago. Didn't get it yet. How long does it take? So we're fulfilling the store orders right now. I know it's taking a while. I apologize, but I just shipped out the first batch because it was on pre-order until like yesterday. I just turned it on to a because we now have the printed books. The reprints are done. RJ has all the books, but I had a small batch of it, so I shipped out what I could. So people who ordered like September last year, you guys should be getting your books as I ship that out, and RJ will be fulfilling the rest of the pre-orders from September until now. So you should be getting your book throughout the next couple of weeks because we have maybe 100 or so orders from the store. So that RJ's fast and he has help. So that'll be a quick turnaround. But yeah, there you go. Thank you very much for your support. And I apologize for the wait. The reprints took a while because I was doing a second edition and I was like being really picky with changing all kinds of weird shit. Like pre-press and printing takes way longer than you would expect. Every single fucking time I'm like, I'm going to leave a whole month extra. And then that month is just taken up by stuff. It happens all the time, every single fucking time. Just always come up with something else to do. Thank you for the link, Alex. Yes. Critical Blast Logistics, RJ. He does my fulfillment. He's awesome.
Yeah,
RJ
RJ
been
is
awesome
great.
to work with.
Yep.
Yeah, he really is.
He even offers like I don't know, I forget what he calls it, but it's basically like a spreadsheet consolidation service, which we used. It was just a flat fee, and he was able to organize all of our items and everything that we need to ship out in little categories, so we could just pack based on what goes into each shipment order, and it's been like super fast, like getting everything packed. So you just have to, if you're doing fulfillment yourself, you could just be like, okay, we had 51 people that just ordered the Simon Bisley cover. So all I have to do is pack that many packages, and then my brother could run those names through the label maker and then just make labels and then just slap them on the packages that are already pre-made, basically. And it's been awesome. So he helped with that.
He's basically a spreadsheet wizard.
Yeah.
So it's been like it's been incredible. So this time with Fiendish 2, we had like 2,500 orders, which is a lot. And so he went through and then he obviously consolidated well if he fulfilled by tier, just like Phil said. If people ordered one book and then all of those people were you ship those in one batch.
Yeah.
But then also multiple orders got if like the same person placed multiple orders, that got shipped together. So that's like honestly basic spreadsheet wizardry stuff. But this time with Fiendish 2.5, there were 2 campaigns. So
Right.
2 campaigns, and I tried to mirror the tiers, but I called them different things. And then there's all these complicated issues, like Fund My Comic doesn't have itemization, so you just had the tier name. So I would just tell RJ what the tier, what is in each tier, and then you also have the add-ons and everything, and he gets all of it right. He just plugs that into the algorithm, consolidates both campaigns, and this is honestly a lot of work. Like, I would fucking go crazy having to do this stuff, but he knows how to do like data entry and stuff. So, and I've been very happy with working with him and like shipping books. He knows what he's doing. Anyways, go give RJ a follow and support him. I'm glad I don't have to ship books anymore. My God, it's a fucking pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I mean, I do some of it, but shit, I just want to draw.
Yeah.
Thank you for the links.
Want to update it, and we'll see if it's gone up.
Shall
Risk the
I
life of an
refresh?
angel. Yeah.
No, I was checking chat to see if there was any more backers. No more backers?
I don't think it
We're gonna try to drag this out to see if we can wait until Jake wakes up. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
There's an hour and a half left on this campaign, everybody. 1 hour and a half.
Yeah,
And
we
then
were
this is
gonna shut it down,
down.
Phil, but it got a big boost kind of randomly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we're like,
Good luck.
gotta keep going.
Are you going to put your original art up or no?
some more, like another original art? I could maybe do that.
We're gonna peer pressure Narwhal into putting on more original art because that'll give it a boost.
Maybe.
That would
I
that
mean,
would maybe
so
have
close.
Let me see.
Let's see.
Yeah. You might as
It would be-
well.
Yeah, it would have to be a Percival page, which is the. I mean, they're kind of cool, but it would literally be. I would pack it with a board. I put it over a board and then ship it like that.
You should just fold it.
Yeah.
No, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't listen to Phil.
Yeah.
That's
Percival
cool.
page.
Well, all
yeah,
right.
Yeah, I got
Barb
them all
is posting
scanned.
the Zaid Comics link with hearts.
Hey, thanks,
Aw,
Barb.
that's
Appreciate
so
that.
sweet.
Maromi's like, I backed already and saved an angel earlier. Yeah.
That's what counts.
Did. Thank you.
All right,
did
I'm gonna
well.
check this out.
Percival. Or page 1, which is this one it's just tracing paper.
That's
Just
crazy.
an hour and a half left to
I'd
bat.
go nuts.
Chad, does this seem like, I mean, this is an 11 by 17 original comic page, and I'd ship it with a board. But does this look cool to you, Chad? I don't even know. It's like, it's kind of cool. Look at the lady. Can you see
Damn,
the
11 by
lady?
17. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
If I think up close I can see the details more. That does look awesome. There's a lot of
faces.
I love the motion and all your traditional art style that is more fantasy with all the more texture style is really great. I love seeing it.
Yeah, thanks. I know I just want to have time to keep working on Percival, but it's right now
Wait.
it's back burner.
Filler says Phil kind of sounds like Edwin Boyette.
What?
It might
No,
be.
you don't.
Yeah, it's because you're
Yeah,
sick.
well, you're talking a little quiet.
Schemes.
You're not mumbling nearly enough.
Schemes and scams. Don't talk about fudge. Schemes and scams.
See, then you do.
Is that better?
Uncanny. Now you do definitely. So awesome. All right, I'm gonna refresh. I think I've given everybody enough time. If we've given you ample warning, everybody watching, I'm going to refresh this campaign, and if that backer number or that doesn't go up, it's an angel's gonna die. Oh no! It's gone! Oh my gosh!
Did it even refresh?
That's
It
the
did. It
rule.
went up a little bit.
Oh yeah, it's
You see that?
87
A little
now.
bit. It did go up a little bit. Yay!
Yeah.
You know, angels die. Thank you. Yay!
Yeah.
I will take
He
another.
was the Edwin voice.
I should probably stop. I will finish this glass, and that will be it for tonight. Thank you.
Should I do a narwhal ho?
Oh.
Narwhal ho.
Oh, nice.
Victor says, "Why did Rini laugh after she said it looks great?" Because I laugh inappropriately. I don't know. Damn.
Yeah, I can't decide if I should throw up.
My dog wants to know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
He thinks
He's
you're
like, "You
making some
howling?"
kind of wolf call to the moon or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't howl. Like
Really?
my family dogs, you can get him to howl if you howl, but Dylan won't because he's a dingo.
What kind of? Oh, he's a dingo.
Well, he's an Australian cattle dog, which is a dog mixed with dingoes.
Certain dog breeds have weird behaviors. Is that normal for his breed?
Almost never barks.
I noticed. Yeah, every time you've shown him on stream, he's just been lying on your futon, being super chill and cute. Adorable. Well, I do think that's honestly that's about it. I think. I think.
Yeah, that was
I
a
could
good run.
finish this whole glass of wine or this whole bottle, but I've had like 3 glasses of this shit, and I need to cut off, and I need to go to fucking bed. I'm sorry, everybody. We've extended it. You're definitely going to, if we can. Okay, I'm gonna drag this down and talk about Fiendish for a bit. If we at least get to 3,800 before I close the stream down, that would be great. Okay, but cheers, everyone. I'm gonna finish this glass right here. To Earthbound, everybody. To Earthbound.
Cheers. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Phil, Rini for hosting.
Glad I pop in.
Yeah.
Of course, anytime. I'm
And
glad
to
that we get
the
you a
chat.
little bit
Thanks
of
for
a bump.
hanging.
Yeah, congrats on always
Look
putting out books, man. You're always putting out something, which is amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Definitely. Granda is just joining us. Well, hello.
You are late.
Yeah, you are rather late. We are looking to wrap up, but for anyone who might be joining in late, we can do one last pitch and a little summarization. This is the closeout stream for Earthbound Grand Prix Part 2 of 6. This is an Indiegogo campaign. The link is in the description, also pinned in the chat, and it's ending tonight. So there is no in demand. This campaign is ending tonight. And Narwhal, do you want to tell everybody what this book is about?
Yeah, hold on. I have it on the screen. I'm gonna share it real fast. Because words are better than pictures. Pictures are better than words.
Pictures are a picture is 1,000 words.
Yeah, can you throw up my screen real fast?
Yeah.
Look at Alex VRB sent that to me. and I didn't know how to open it, so I copied and pasted it into Clip Studio. So it looks like I've been working on it. But no, it's Alex.
It looks like you made it.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that's totally an Alex meme, though. Oh, that's great. Okay.
Yeah, that's funny.
Well done. So
Oh.
this is the fourth variant, the third variant cover.
Yeah, this could be the stretch goal.
If you get to 4,000, everybody gets a mini print of this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well done, Alex.
Yeah, it's another Alex meme. That makes this like almost an unofficial creative block stream because we got Phil, we got Rini and me, and then we got a meme.
Yeah, the meme.
More reasons to shame Jake.
Exactly. Jake is here in spirit, or not really. I don't know. Thought it was extended. No, we're extending the stream. The campaign is not extended. The campaign is still closing in 1 hour and 22 minutes. Ooh, what is your shirt? I don't know what Phil is doing. I don't know what's going on.
Wow.
So let's see. So Earthbound, lightning pitch, go.
Yeah, so it's all about a top secret fighting tournament, very clandestine. A guy sneaks into it undercover, posing as a fighter, but really he's trying to solve a CIA style mystery dealing with kind of whatever you'd call that, the nation building style spy craft amongst the powers that be in this universe.
And it's a fighting tournament where the prize is a reincarnation ring, and the only way to get out of this Grand Prix tournament is through a reincarnation ring. Is that right? Is that a
Yeah. You basically have to die with the ring, and then you get teleported back through the portal, and you can escape.
Yeah, that's a good premise.
Big concepts.
Yeah, it's kind of funky sci-fi. I
like
pride
it.
myself on a little bit of that. Earthbound had a little bit of that too. I grew up reading Philip K. Dick. I love Philip K. Dick, and yeah. So I try to throw in a few of the weird ideas in my stories.
People have called me
Cool.
Philip K. Diaz.
Nice. That's a.
Is that your actual middle name,
No.
Phil? Okay. Well, I don't know why people call you that then. You can start going by that though as a pen name.
Yeah.
You back now? Yes, Alex. I'm going to meander over, if you don't mind, just for a second. We'll come back to this, but since we're wrapping up, check this out. I've already pimped a new website for Fiendish. It's not really a new website. I've updated it and added a bunch of cool stuff. I have like this cool scrolly thing. Oh my gosh, look, it's so pretty and stuff.
Cool.
But it's very nice. And also, by the way, don't forget we have a universal email sign up. So even without a campaign, you can head over to the website and sign up for the email list so you don't miss out on any important updates. I just sent out an email blast just telling everybody that I updated the website basically, and that the website passes, which is basically a Patreon-like service, and the digital versions for each chapter, it's only chapter 1 now, but I do have digital editions of the chapters going up starting from chapter 1. They'll slowly be uploaded chapter 2 and 2.5. I have them both on the website here and on Global Comics, which is another digital comics platform. But that is all happening, and you can view the passes here. And if you sign up for the email list, you'll get all the updates regarding these important new releases and all the kind of stuff. So email it. This is learn more. You get to go to the about section for the comic, and this is the website where you can find all you need to know about Fiendish. This is like the center of operations for my comic. So it's very extensive, all kinds of crazy shit. I have character profiles, a world map, a pantheon, because I have no life and I spend all my time building this website. I've spent an inordinate amount of time on this, and also I pay for it every month. So please, everybody, go support this, and also hopefully buy something from the shop. That would really help. Speaking of the shop, this is what I just updated today. Look at this. I updated the shop. Yay, look. Dun, dun, dun. I added, so I don't know if anyone has looked at a shop recently, but I revamped the look a little bit.
Bancroft.
And I have...
What is that, Bogans?
Yeah, that... It is actually. That was us in Tampa, because like Bancroft bought a hat from me because I had those exact hats. So I was like, oh, let's take a picture. So we're actually modeling the hats. Look at that. So if you want a fiendish hat as modeled by me and Bancroft, you can buy it on the website right here. Ta-da! Isn't that awesome?
That's
very
fun.
Nice hats.
The before and after photo is fun too.
Oh, like that? It's like
yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, like puppets.
I'm surprised the hat fit his big head.
It's sitting right on top. It's ready to pop.
Risky. I think we had to rip back a little bit. That's why it's only the front view, because the back was just ripped open. But it was a struggle, but we made it happen. Yeah, we made it happen. But yeah, so all these other apparel items and all kinds of cool stuff and hats, and I even have a leather jacket. I have a lot of cool stuff on here, and of course the books, which are shipping now. We do have the reprints done, so they're no longer in pre-order. If you order these, they'll ship in like about a week or so. This though is what went up today. I put the standees up. Yeah. So I have we've had these for a while. I've just been occupied by other shit and I haven't put the standees up, but I have the Ragna standee that is super... I love how this turned out. It's super sexy and it's a very nice quality standee. It's two-sided, is double-sided, and also the demon one is also a double-sided standee. They're both like 4 inches tall or so. I like these. They're kind of an anime item, and I don't see them as much with American comics, but I grew up seeing a lot of like character standees with anime and manga, so I decided to make those. And we had some leftover from the Chapter 2 campaign, so these are up on the store. And the pins are on pre-order as well. So this is an item for Chapter 2.5. It's with the these were an item with the 2.5 Fund My Comic. And if you backed that campaign and you got a pin, you got it for a discount. It is now up on the store, marked up, because of course the campaign backers get the item for a discount, and on the store it's marked up. But I have it as a pre-order because I figured, why not? People really like the pin design, so you can pre-order it. They're being manufactured right now, and they should be shipped over to RJ in like 2 weeks or so, as the pins are taking a little longer. But yeah, these are being manufactured, so if you like how this looks, you can pre-order it on the website and pick up anything else that you fancy. I just enabled discounted shipping, so if you order multiple things, you just pay once for every product category. Anyways, you get discounts if you like put in one order for a bunch of things. So yeah, there you go. Check it out. I'm very proud of this website, and I would very much appreciate it if you pick up something from the store. Thank you. Yeah. Yay. Okay, let's go back to Earthbound Grand Prix. Dun dun dun. Shall we refresh, see if we're at 3,800? Can we do it? Is this gonna happen?
Yeah, let's risk.
Oh my gosh! Let's risk it! Oh no! I am on the edge of my seat. All right, let's refresh. Let's go. Now I want to keep going because like it's 200 every time we refresh. It's almost exactly 100 every time. So
it's so close. Yeah,
I know. If I keep streaming and just screaming into the mic and refresh 2 more times, then we're gonna be at 4,000. But no.
Yeah,
I can't.
no, this is good. I think. I mean, I'm satisfied, and I really appreciate everyone. And yeah.
Plus, we have a stream tomorrow. We're gonna, even though this will be closed, but tomorrow we're doing Creative Block on my channel.
Cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
I think.
Sweet.
It is your. You think it is your.
No, yeah. We'll do
Hey,
it.
Ghost House. Hello.
I just gotta. What's up, Ghost House?
Ghost House.
Yeah.
Brother.
Hello.
Yeah, we'll be on my channel tomorrow. I'm seeing Ryan Blue Thunder this weekend. That's gonna be cool.
Nice.
My apologies.
RBT.
Oh yeah, he did say he was going to Chicago. So have fun, everybody
Yes.
who's gonna be in Chicago. Hopefully you recovered from your illness, Phil. That would suck to be at a convention all sick.
Yeah, I mean, well,
Maybe you'll be fortified against Concred, though.
right.
honestly.
Well, Ryan doesn't mind if I get him sick, right?
Not at all. That's
We'll
exactly
be
what
picking
he
up his
just
books
said.
there. So if anybody's actually coming to the convention, you still have like some hours to email me if you want me to just bring your books to the convention for you to pick up. Otherwise, we're shipping them out to you.
That's a good idea. I was Yeah, I was thinking of having an book orders tier where it's hand delivery, but it's convention delivery basically. So you open it up before a convention. It's like taking convention sketches, but it's pre-commissions or whatever you call it. Like a lot of artists do that, which honestly is a great idea because it sucks like sit on a convention floor and when you could be socializing or like draw when you could be socializing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
lot
a
of
good
people
idea to
Yeah.
pick up at a convention. Let's see. Let me pull this up real quick as well since you're here. Lost Pages 3. Look at that.
Yeah, we're literally shipping them out tomorrow morning. I started packing tonight pretty late, and my girlfriend's like, "Hey, that tape gun is really loud. Can you not do that while I'm trying to sleep?" So I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'll do it in the morning." So tomorrow, I'm waking up early, packing the last of the books that are the Dan Doll cover with the People 2 ash can. So those are getting packed up and sent out. This came out so freaking sweet. The kick-ass blue ink cover.
That's
The
nice.
interiors look freaking awesome. New villain, Dr. Octane. Yeah, he's pretty badass. Dan did an awesome job with this. So these are the newest ash cans. They're going out tomorrow along with the Dan Doll cover. And then we're going to be shipping for the next, I don't know, probably a couple weeks. We should be able to get through all this. But this, I just figured out this campaign is our highest funded. I knew that, but also highest backed. So this is now the most backed Zade Comics project. Thank you guys so much. It beats the previous campaign we did by, I don't know, probably like 6 backers. But we're still going. So if you guys haven't grabbed anything from this yet, go check it out. We're shipping now.
Awesome. Nice. Yeah, congrats on having a most back campaign for Zade Comics. All these colors, all the art on this look great.
It's insane. I'm so happy how everything came out. The colors are incredible. I can't wait to see it, people posting about it now and like actually reading it and getting to the story. Because like during campaigning and especially because comics is a visual medium, you don't want to give all the story away and the plot points and the twists and stuff. So I mean, there's a character in here who's a villain that I don't think we've ever talked about during the whole time we've talked about this book, so like people learning about the backstory of that and how everything's going to unfold in the book. I'm really excited about.
Nice. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean with you have to like reveal a basic plot, but there are twists. Right. There are twists in every comic, and that's good writing. So I'm excited. Everybody check out Lost Pages 3, Crimstone by Zade Comics. And let's hold on. Someone had a question. Ghost House asked, Normal, I have Grand Prix Part 1 and your anthology. What are you missing? Well, you are here right in time, my good friend.
Yeah, he's using verbiage like I'm like, ooh, is he thinking about backing? That could push us close to 4th hour. That'd be crazy. If we hit 4th hour, everyone gets the me and Rini Alex VRB meme as a postcard.
It's happening. Let's do it. Come on, let's go. Yeah, this is Earthbound Grand Prix Part 2. So if you have Part 1, you don't have this yet.
Hey, you need
Yeah,
this?
so get this, and then as an add-on, get Earthbound 1 and 2, which is the original story, which is a lot of fun. Combines completely totally finished story. Um, it feels like watching a movie if you're reading it. Kind of, it's pretty smooth and kind of long, like 250 pages.
Nice. Oh, that's a lot of pages.
It's a lot
So
of content.
you
It's
replied
great.
that. Yeah, I like that kind of more cinematic, slower storytelling though. I think especially Earthbound suits that.
Yeah,
With
it's a little bit like grass is always greener. I love this, like, I don't know what you'd call it, like snappy, more classic comic book style where every panel is like super, like rich and meant to convey. And then mine's like a little more on that spectrum towards storyboarding, just like, yeah, just a lot of panels to tell the story kind of thing.
nice. You said you gird bound Earthbound Grand Prix. I've had a little bit to drink, and also Earthbound 1 and 2 are those are all available as add-ons, are they? Or
Yeah.
do you have the back stuff? Okay, cool. That's perfect. So you can, if you want to get caught up on anything Earthbound, you can go to this campaign right now. This is part 2 of 6. Earthbound Grand Prix is different than Earthbound. It's like the same thing, but it's, Earthbound Grand Prix is its own thing.
Yeah.
It's
Originally Earthbound had it.
Yeah.
It had a subtitle, and I kind of dropped it. It's like I've had some funny, like, weird canonical stuff about what's named what. But yeah, the original Earthbound story, it was called Earthbound Between Two Breaths on Earth, which is kind of stupid.
A mouthful.
Yeah.
No, that's very poetic, but it's still long for a title. I don't think that would work.
Yeah.
Very poetic though. Very poetic like that. Yeah, this is how you know it's time to end a fucking stream, when you start making gurgling noises when trying to read fucking titles.
Gnarl, you've had 11 campaigns already? That's insane, dude.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh, yeah.
One of those, by the way, is freaking Disintegration Street, where I was just like sort of, I don't know if you'd call it like a publisher, but it was Brendan Swan's book. We just did it on my account, and it got him some extra readers that way, which was a lot of fun to do, actually. So one of them is like me just being a publisher, even.
Remember that, yeah. I'm this is the 6th we've done, I think.
Cool.
Book 6. Or campaign.
Show offs. I have like
You'll get there
5.
one day, Irene.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I need to do more like 1 week convention exclusive campaigns. I'll be like, look, I have so many campaigns.
Yeah.
7-second campaigns.
Honestly, I have a few. I had an art book campaign too, but yeah, cool. 11 campaigns. That's a lot. And you've worked on other people's books too, because you have the Narzak books. So you have like a huge catalog of work. So well done. Amazingly productive. I'm impressed.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, the Narzak stuff has been fun. We're still chipping away at some of that too. I feel like Zach's, it's kind of weird to say, but I feel like he's improved a lot. Because he kind of improved in public. Like, he broke in because of his YouTube channel, started doing comics, and his first book, it was like, he had written a few others, but he's kind of, and then, so now he's been doing it full time for approaching 5, 6, 7 years, and he's getting really good, in my opinion, which is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I think.
Excited for that. Sorry. Cut you off.
No, I agree. I think it seems like he's refined a lot, and without changing his core approach, which is good. I think that's impressive, and that's how I like seeing that improvement in creators. When the more you create, the more you should be striving to improve, right? Stagnation is the absolute enemy of any creator. And yeah, I love to see that he's still creating
that's
comics
happened.
and improving every step of the way. It's not just like, keep on making the same stuff. That doesn't really work. You have to improve.
Yeah, we've all been doing it now, like at least 5 years, which is a long time. that's like, I'm like, I think we're starting to see that a little bit. We're starting to see like people with getting some experience and getting some improvement, and the overall quality is going up, which is a lot of fun. We're seeing like some people really stepping
That's
up
what
their
should
game.
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. That's what should happen though, which was it was baffling when I remember being told that, well, issue ones are the most important for American comics, and then you should expect sales to go down. I'm like, no, like that's not how it works in manga. And I'm not saying no, everything needs to work the same way as manga. As manga is holy, but if a series improves, which is what a story should do, then the sales should go up. And I believe that the audience will reward good work and will find good stories. And if your story is getting better and your art is getting better, then all the metrics will naturally go up and the feedback will become better. And you should strive to improve the further you go in your creative career, not just within like the one series, like one single series, but it's just strange to view this idea that, well, the launch is like the biggest thing. It seems like, well, that's kind of a little backwards, but I'm glad to see creators that improve. I think both of you guys have, Zach has as well. And to me, that's how I know someone is taking the medium of comics seriously, because we should all be striving to improve. Like, I literally think the only time an artist stagnates is, well, if you're like we'll all be creating until the end of our lives, basically. Like, stagnation is the enemy of art. So
I think like a lot of people can get too comfortable and set in their ways that leads to stagnation.
Yeah.
That's true. There are periods where everybody does struggle with that, but and I've experienced that as well. Ghost House said he just backed. Awesome. Thank you so much. And Hypnotic is in chat. Hello, Hypnotic. What's up? Thanks for joining. We're just wrapping this up. But if you are just joining, this is the closeout stream for Earthbound Grand Prix, part 2 of 6. This is the final closeout. The campaign will be coming down. There will be no in demand. So if you like science fiction and weird science fiction, this is kind of, shall I say, a little bit like Battle Royale in space, but not really, but more mysterious. Then this is
I love
you.
Battle
Check
Royale. That movie, so good.
That was a good movie. Yeah, I remember watching that. Good old days.
Did you do a refresh after Housebacked?
No, I'm going to. I just want to show the covers as well. We keep on having people pouring in. I'm like, oh, I definitely want to. I was like, I want to end the stream, but like I really want to get us to 4K as well, because the goal tonight is 4K. So let's do this. Yeah, let's do this. Come on. All right, let's refresh, because I know Ghost House backed and maybe some other people backed as well. If we can push this up another 100, that would be great. I don't know. I don't want to jinx it. All right, let's go. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's see where it's at.
One more time. It's 2 a.m. as well, so perfect. Almost.
Dang,
Almost at
crazy.
Almost
So it's
at
118. It's 118 away from 4,000. That's crazy. And it's the goal. I can't believe we might hit the goal. Like, thanks, Rini. Yeah, because that's pretty crazy. Yeah, like I didn't think we would, but we might do it. That's in the chat. Thank you, everyone.
We can do it.
Well,
Yeah.
118. Yeah, and yeah, I think. Yeah, if you want to stay live for a second longer, I'm down, but we can end at any time, and it will. I think we get a few more backers before midnight and get close.
Oh
you know what I
my
mean?
god!
If it doesn't pass it, people do not get the meme postcard of me and Rini.
Yeah. Do you want to show the meme postcard again? Let's show the meme postcard.
Yeah, let me pull it up here.
You gotta have a little more gusto. You're like, yeah, let's keep streaming until 5 a.m. Even though the campaign will be closed. Doesn't make any sense. Just keep going.
Yeah.
Buy my book, everybody. Back Earthbound. It's not my book, but
If I'm a wrench in any other channels, I
Speaking for
can
normal.
spam the link into.
yeah, let's do it. Is anyone else streaming? They shouldn't be, because everybody should be here right now.
Let's see.
Had a little bit to drink in case you guys can't tell. Makes me a little slightly more aggressive. Mildly. TC says 4K is coming.
Okay,
We can do this.
here's what everyone gets. Every backer will get this postcard if we just get 118 more dollars.
Okay. Okay. It's
There's a lot of things that make me laugh. So if you try to, so this is if Rini is
silly.
if Rini is Julia, like that's fun. Like so you're Julia from Earthbound, that's cool. And then they put me over this guy who's like one of the main bad guys, and I'm just smiling.
And you know who that is? He's just like super happy. Like the original character was glowering, and it's just Narwhal's happy face.
Yeah.
I don't even know what this signifies, but if we get to 4K on this campaign, then everyone gets a free mini print of Alex's meme. Thank you very much, Alex.
Yeah. Alex's memes are masterpieces. Not just this one, but
He is
all
quite
of them.
amazing.
Dark Gift doesn't.
He
have to be
honestly
modded.
does
Mad.
understand meme magic. He doesn't have you modded? How dare he?
No,
Oh, shame on him. Everybody go to Anthony's chat and
but I
shame
wrote
him.
in there, so
Modded.
hopefully maybe some mods will throw a link in there.
No, okay, Alex, my hair looks too. That's true. My hair doesn't look like that. It needs to be more mousy. It needs to look like it's blowing up. Well, I do think that's a pretty good push, everyone. I trust that in the next hour. I mean, I want to keep going for an hour, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to fall the fuck asleep.
No, yeah. I really appreciate you just doing what you did. I mean, you've done so far.
Too.
Yeah,
I'm happy
me too.
I'm happy
Actually,
too.
I'm gonna keep one eye on it and make sure I stay up. But I'm gonna kind of go to bed here in a second.
Yeah, if anyone is watching, because we still have 70 people watching, and that is a lot of people watching. And if every single person, that's like slightly less than the amount of backers that are on this campaign. So I don't believe that every single person watching has already backed this campaign. If you're watching and you haven't backed this campaign, head over to the link in the description. Also, that's pinned in chat. Take a look at this. This campaign is going to be coming down in less than an hour. Narwhal is a great writer, great artist. You're not going to be disappointed. Get the catch up. Get both Earthbound Grand Prix 1 and 2, and you will absolutely love it. And help this campaign get to 4K. Thank you, everyone. This was awesome.
You know what I want it to get to now? I want it to get to 3,999, so I don't have to send out a bunch of postcards.
Wait, don't self-sabotage yourself. Don't self-sabotage yourself.
You just want to make these meme cards. And don't forget, tomorrow will be on my channel.
Oh, you just updated it and killed an angel, I'm pretty sure. Did you do it?
I killed an angel! Oh, no! No! We ended the stream on a down! No, it was a downer. Thank you, Frankie wants us to keep going. Listen, if you guys had backed the campaign, then we wouldn't have to kill an angel right at the end. Okay. So I will say this is a huge letdown. I'm very disappointed, but it's fine. It's fine. I believe you'll redeem yourselves after we end the stream. Because we'll have a flurry of backers. Whoa, this is weird. Okay, let's not do that. That's strange. Why am I so pink? That's what? Did the wine turn me pink? Why am I so fucking? That's really strange.
You got the Asian glow.
That's not how it, Asian. I have a friend. I actually don't get an Asian glow. I mean, I get like a little tinge, but it's so funny. I've been drinking with my Taiwanese friends when I was back home, and like I was like 4 tall ones of beer in, and I was fine. And like my friend, he was just red after 2 of them. Red.
Oh, the Asian red thing. Is that all Asians?
It's so like a high percentage of East Asians have this gene where basically they don't process alcohol, so that's why a lot of Asians turn red when they drink.
Yeah, I knew some Filipinos that were like that.
Yeah, it's an East Asian thing. It's just a genetics thing. I didn't get it. I got the German drinking genes. Yay!
Oh, yeah.
4 more glasses of wine in. Okay, it's time to end the stream. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight and backing Earthbound Grand Prix. If you're still watching, of course, it's not too late to back the campaign. I know you guys want to. And also, definitely check out Lost Pages 3 by Phil Say Comics.
Yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
And also check out Fiendish at fiendishcomic.com. All my links are also in the chat. So I'll see you guys tomorrow on Phil's channel for Creative Block, and we will shame Jake for not being here with us tonight. And also good night to Phil's doggo, who's a very good doggo and super sweet and cute. All right, have a good night, everybody. Love y'all. Bye. Bye. Bye.